right, good morning, good morning. It is Friday, March 12th, 2021. Welcome to the stream. We've got a lot going on today. We've got AMC, we've got GME, we've got options expiration, we've got pre-market. Let's take a look at what's going on first off in the markets. So here we have about a half an hour, about 20 minutes until the markets open. And we have, we're looking at a red day. So the S&P 500 minis are down 22 points. So looking to see those open up onto the downside. The Dow Jones Industrial Average is down 57 points. And the NASDAQ, whoops, where'd it go? Here we go. And the NASDAQ looks like it's going to be heading down about 2 points. So actually kind of light there. So let's go into what's going on. We've got GameStop here. GameStop is actually opening up. $13.50, up over 5%, up to $273 in the pre-market. We have AMC that is up to 10 and 11 on the pre-market. And let me see here. I think I can drag this over here now. Hold on a second. Boom, yes we can. All right, so we'll pull up the level 2 quotes. We'll make that larger on the screen. And good morning. I hope you all are doing fantastic today. So this is basically NASDAQ. Let me get over to pre-market. Okay. You know, small bids and asks right now, very small volume right now as we go into the open here in just a little while. So I just want to have that screen up so we're ready to go. Okay, so let's take a look at some other things that are going on. We've got Bitcoin. Bitcoin is currently down 2,300, back down to 55,452. Not really concerned about that. ETH is down to 1730 or 1740. I think the last time I bought ETH it was at 1450. Yeah, I had a line here at 1450. Last week, yeah, right about last week or so, and did some more buys, but looks like 1550 is going to be the new line. I got in with some more at 1450. Where was that at? I think it was in this range here. Yeah, right around the beginning of February was the last time I bought Ethereum, but they're looking good. All right, some other ones on the watch list. We've got Ford. We've also got some other ones. Let's see here. NVAX, we've got NVAX, which is Novavax, and they had a new vaccine that is going to be effective against COVID, apparently. And so, and I don't know the percentages, somewhere up in the upper 90s, I think was the percentage. Here we go. Novavax COVID-19 vaccine showed 100% effectiveness in 2 clinical trials treating severe disease. So that's certainly good news for folks that already have it. Vaccine was 96.4% effective in treating mild, moderate, and severe disease caused by the original COVID strain in a UK-based phase 3. And again, if you have any AstraZeneca, there have been 9 countries over in the EU, I was reading late last night, that have stopped the vaccine on AstraZeneca. So if you have any of that, be very, very careful. But Novavax looks like they're going to be trading up in the market, in the pre-market, and they're going to have a quite a day. So they're already up 16%. Let me turn on my externals so we can see the pre-market. Sorry about that. Didn't realize those were off. So a huge jump here. You know, just about 4 hours ago or so. AMC you can see in the pre-market and the post-market. Yes, this is post-market yesterday. This is pre-market this morning. So had a drop at Europe time. And I think that's related to the stock market problems they're having in China right now. China has a whole bunch of stuff going on where they are not looking very good at all. And if you have a question, hey, feel free to drop it into the chat, and we'll take a look at that. I do want to take a look at. I know some of you probably or might have some of the EV makers, and the EV makers. Probably looking, let's take a look at some of them. Baidu looking to open down 3%. Bloom Energy down 4%. Baidu down almost 4%. Blink down 4.98%. Fuel Cell down almost 7% on Fuel Cell. There might be some bargains here to pick up. GM down 1%. Li Auto, another Chinese company, down 4%. Neo down 5%. Plug down 5%. So these are all going to get taken for a ride. Here's a ride. Lindstrom Motors, Lordstown Motors, excuse me, down 18%. Holy cow. Solo, that used to be a high flyer, that's actually looking to trade down 3%. And what's this doing in here? That don't belong in there. Hold on a second. Boop. Make that one disappear. Hey, get out of there. What the heck? Okay, Tesla, down 4%. Workhorse, down 6.5%. And finally, XPeng, which is XPEV symbol, down 4%. So those are not looking very good at all today. Let me go back up the watch list. Let's take a look at what some of the chip makers are doing. AMD looking to open down 1.74%. Intel looking to open also down 1.25%. And my favorite of the group, NVIDIA, looking to trade down to 506, down $13, down 2.5%. That was hovering about 509 about an hour or so ago when I was up doing research. I'm on the West Coast, so it is 6:13 here right now. AMC, with what I'm looking at, is dropping today. Yes, that's correct. Saturday is stimmies, and Monday is going to be bumped with the stimmies. Hopefully, yeah, they're saying that a lot of the stimulus checks, that's a great point. Rice, and thanks for stopping into the chat. That's a good point. They are talking about the stimulus already hopefully being sent out by direct deposit. The problem I have with that hitting over the weekend is that most banks won't report and give it to you until Monday. So if you're expecting it today or over the weekend, some banks and some credit unions won't credit that thing until Monday morning. Or midnight Monday morning. So late Sunday night, Monday morning, depending on where you're at. So definitely going to happen there. Oil was off. I added a ticker in here too. But let's take a look at Chevron. Chevron's looking to open down, or I'm sorry, up 52 cents. And then we have oil. Light crude is down, but I added the Brent crude, and the Brent crude is actually up 2.55%. So that's going to be interesting to see on my U.S. oil. That one is actually trading down 15 cents. But again, not really worried about that one. We'll see what happens. I did read that there was Israel threatened or attacked a tanker out in the Mideast that was apparently taking oil to Syria from Iran. I read a little bit about that. Let's see if I can pull that one up here. Let's see here. And go to news. There we go. Israel secretly attacked Iranian oil tankers and weapons carriers. So this is a couple hours ago. Let's see here. Let me make that bigger. Israel has carried out a series of clandestine strikes on Iranian oil tankers and ships carrying weapons, according to revelations from Washington, that cast fresh light on a series of naval incidents in recent years. So I don't understand how this is a story. At least a dozen vessels, and mainly hit by mines, have been damaged in the Israeli attack since late 2019, the Wall Street Journal reported. Why are we just hearing about this now? 3 in 2019, 6 last year, and 3 more this year took place in the Red Sea and Mediterranean and possibly elsewhere. So by mines and things like that, yet it's not, you won't see that on the mainstream news, and they're not really reporting that. So go figure. AMC is looking to open down 20 cents to 10.07. So that might shape up to be a battle for $10 today. And we'll go to the 30-second chart on there. And I'm going to scrunch it a little bit. So this is the entire pre-market. So last 5 hours or so, huge drop on the open of the pre-market, and then a steady rise back up into right about to where we closed at yesterday, and then a small drop down 20 cents. So we'll see. But GME is up though in the pre-market. GME, on the other hand, also had a sell-off at the beginning, and again, that's based on the Chinese stock market. They've been getting hammered for the last 3 days. So if you're in EV makers, if you're in any Chinese EV makers, be very, very careful about what you do, because it might be some problems there. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Ford looking to open down 6 cents. GameStop, I don't know. I don't think there's any news. And they report earnings next week. Where are we at here? March 23rd. They report earnings March 23rd. I've got a couple pharmaceuticals. After the close today, I've got Iterum is up 3.75%, and they report they reported up 11. So minus 11 cents instead of a loss of 18 cents. So definitely an improvement. So I'm looking to get a nice pop on Iterum there today. It's showing up 4%. That's good. And then my other one's actually trading down in the pre-market, down 9 cents. But it had a really nice day yesterday, up 10%. So only giving back half of that. I'm okay with that. NVIDIA again is looking to open down $13 to 506.20 in the pre-market. We got Palladium is up 550. We've got Platinum that's down 27 cents, and we have Tesla. Let me get my dog out of the cage here. Oops. Okay. All right, hold on. What you doing? What you doing? All right. Hold on a second. Okay, so GME again, that's going to be the flyer at least for today. It looks like they're going to try and they may make a battle for 271.30. So we can take a look at the chain on GameStop here, and let's see where we're at as far as options go. We don't want the 19th, we want today. And we want out to, give me all the strikes. We'll let it take a second for that to update. Hey, Liberty. And we're gonna go to the calls. Okay. And we're gonna look at the, around the monies. Hey, what happened? Open up. There we go. Hey. I'm taxing my laptop here. And that's because my desktop is actually running my miners. Some of the graphic cards that I use for crypto mining on Ethereum network. And so I bought a new laptop at the end of last year to do this. And I have two external 15.6 monitors, and then I have an iPad over here as well. And the iPad I use it just to check my YouTube stream, whereas on Twitch I know everything's going here. I mine BTC with NiceHash, very cool. Yeah, I don't do NiceHash, I actually call them Nice Trash. They had a hack a few years ago, and a lot of people lost some money. They paid it back, but they paid it back at like 35% of what the attack was equal to with the money at the time. So it did not turn out very well for those folks. And then they also went out and NiceHash was trying to attack the Phoenix miner. And what happened is I mine with what's called a Phoenix miner. It's a software that's used to mine cryptocurrency. 5700 XT, yeah, that's a good one. I've got a couple 5600 XTs that I bought late last year to add to my farm. I've been at it since 2017. But NiceHash came out and they released their own version, or where they got this 5.5D version of Phoenix Miner that was full of malware, and then they were trying to get people to leave Phoenix Miner and go onto them. The developer of Phoenix Miner came out and basically killed that off. But the news was already out, and they try and steal people from other pools and stuff. So I'm not necessarily a fan of their tactics, but it can be profitable when it's up and you can rent out your hash power on there. So good for everybody that's on there. I happen to love Nanopool in my Phoenix miner. I've been with them since 2017. So those look pretty good there. All right, so let's take a look at this, and looking at the battle lines here. Okay, so we've got 9,200 contracts at $300 on GameStop, and so you know, that might be the battle there, but it goes all the way down. I mean, you've got all these things down to the around the money. Let's see the out of the monies. Nice hash is fine. I use Nanopool. That's a pool, but then you would need to go onto GitHub. Do not go to phoenixminer.org and download Phoenix Miner. That is a scammer website that has malware in their version of Phoenix Miner. You have to go onto the actual GitHub for Phoenix Miner, and then you can basically, you run that miner and then you hook it into a pool. You can use Ethermine, you can use Nanopool, Flexpool is okay as well. So there's different pools. I happen to use Nanopool. So where you would get that, here, I'll show you here. If you type in GitHub Phoenix Miner, and it should pop up. Nanopool, Phoenix Miner. That's not the one I want. Yeah, do not go to phoenixminer.org. Do not download 5.5C. 5.5C is the correct one, but do not get it from there. And I don't think this one is the correct one either. This is in Nanopools. They're just, let's see here. Yeah, let's there's a search function for this thing. Here we go. All right, I'm not doing that right now. I'll see if I can get that in between the break, and we'll take a look at that, because I want to concentrate a little bit on the markets for at least right now as we get going here. But do not get Phoenix Miner if you plan to do some crypto mining. Hey, if you got a gaming system out there and you have graphic cards that have at least 6 gigabits of RAM, and they're either the GTX or the RTX series, with the exception of the brand new 360, which is what's called nerfed, you can mine Ethereum, and you can make a few dollars a day. And so, you know, and so there's some good opportunities there. All right, so again, GameStop, let's get back into this. GameStop is looking to close, or I'm sorry, looking to close, too early, is looking to open up $13 up to $273 on the open. AMC is looking to open up to $10.12. Hey, I did read an article last night that there was a nugget in the earnings on AMC that basically talked about they already made an agreement with Warner Brothers. Apparently, there was a comment that may have been missed. I was probably screwing around on the stream at that point because it was late in the day and I already streamed twice and was tired. But there's a lot of research that goes into each one of these days, believe it or not. But what the article said, it was behind a paywall on Wall Street Journal. I was able to read the first couple paragraphs on MSN through Bing. I could not get the cache to pull up, but basically in the earnings report, Adam Aaron talked about that they had, you know, you could pretty much assume that they made a deal with Warner Brothers. What that means is Warner Brothers has already said all their 2021 releases of movies are going to go into the theaters and on HBO Max at the same time. What it alluded to was the fact that AMC announced that is going to announce a deal, or they won't announce it, but they're going to be paying less for Warner Brother movies, okay, that come to their screens. So usually the box office, a studio might get, say, 50% of the box office take on a movie. The percentage is nowhere out there. I tried digging to find a percentage last night late and couldn't do it, and even a little bit this morning. But it basically means that they go from a 50% charge to get movies from Warner Brothers down to a 35% charge, which seems in line with me. That's 15% less expenses they have on movies from Warner Brothers. The fact that they struck this deal with Warner Brothers, if it's true, which I believe it to be true, based on what Adam said on the conference call, if that's true, then anybody else that decides to stream, it gives Cinemark the leverage to say, hey, either we're not going to let you in our theaters at all, or you're going to make us a deal and give us and take less of the box office because you're dual streaming over on the things. So that's very good. Yes, good point. So they'll become a bit more profitable with the deal too. They will become profitable again sooner. Again, I don't think that they're going to be profitable this year. 1017, we're looking up 11 cents here. We got 3 minutes to the open. AMC's on a nice little jump here up towards the open. And GameStop is looking up really nice. They're up 5% to 274. I'm going to leave it on AMC as we open. Let's see here. They're opening in LA next weekend. Yeah, there was a news I was reporting yesterday that they were possibly going to open up the theaters this weekend. I think we'll get some news this morning on what will happen. They had to have some things happen in terms of the virus, but my concern with LA and Orange County is that, how do I say this politely? You have a lot of illegal aliens, and illegal aliens is a term. If you don't like the term, I apologize, but that's what's in the U.S. code right now. But you have people coming up from other countries coming over the border, and they're not being screened. So if you fly on an international flight, they want to make sure that you are COVID-free before you land in the U.S., right? But if you're coming over the border as a migrant or declaring asylum or whatnot, no test required. The fact that most come in through the border in California and Texas, I hope that doesn't interfere with anything that's going on in terms of the theaters and everything else opening up. In my state, I'm in Washington State, and our governor Inslee says that he's going to allow everybody to go to what's considered phase 3 on the 22nd of March, which will move things to 50% for restaurants and theaters. We're at 25% right now. So we'll see what happens. Looking about 2 million vaccinated around LA County area. that's probably pretty close. I did read that about 100 million vaccines have been given out, and I think something like 55 or 53 million had received the first vaccine or something like that, and 25 the second, not sure what that is. So we're getting ready on the open here. We've got less than a minute to go, and less than 10 seconds to go. So strap in. We're getting ready to go. It looks like AMC is going to pop open here, very close to where it closed at yesterday, maybe a couple cents down. So now we have, let's take a look. And we have the Dow Jones Industrial Average up 8. Usually a delay on the NASDAQ, and the S&P is down with a nice little dump on the open. Don't let that scare you. It doesn't show external on there. So we have GameStop is definitely up here, up 11, up $10 or so. And let's go to AMC, and AMC, oops, C. There we go. Hey, enter. Holy cow, what's up with this computer this morning? I apologize. Give me a second here. This thing's really chewing on my resources this morning. Why is it doing this? All right, let me get to the other one. I'm sorry about that, folks. Hold on a second. We'll look over here. Okay, AMC is down 23 cents on the open, down to 10.03. Again, this is on a 30-second chart. We have the, let's take a look at the S&P. I don't have to reboot. S&P is down 16. We have the NASDAQ is showing down 160, about 177, 192. So that's definitely dropping off the cliff a little bit here on the open. And then we have the Dow Jones Industrial Average is actually showing up 25.7 points to 32,509. So looks like the battle's going to be, we're back below $10 now on AMC, $9.99. And again, these are 30-second charts. And you can see over here, GameStop is up. Volatility is up, but it's settling where it was yesterday a little bit too. So if we can flatten out right here, we'll take a look at what can happen. What are you doing, dog? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? All right. And again, there's no news on AMC. Yeah, movie theaters could open next week, limited capacity. Let me bring this down here. There we go. Wow. I've never seen this thing this slow. Okay. I may have to buy a better laptop. Or possibly, stream using my desktop. I don't know, drag that out here, but it's got miners attached to it, so it's kind of loud. All right, so again, we're at this 1001, 1002. Anytime you see decimal points over here, that's going to be the grays and the dark pools. The greens are going to be the buys. The reds are going to be the sells. We are 1003 by 1005 on the bid and ask on AMC. So $10 right on the open means that there were some sell orders that were placed on the open, possibly people from taking profits yesterday. From yesterday that didn't have their orders in before the close, or they couldn't trade aftermarket, or they entered their order in incorrectly. Like, for example, you can see my buttons are grayed out right now because I've got it on pre-market. As soon as I go over to smart market, then I have my buy and sell available. Aha! This is very interesting, folks. Let me show you this because this is something I had not seen before. If I take, let's just say 15 shares. See, my buy button is open, my sell button is open, my short button is not. So I cannot short AMC shares on Charles Schwab right now. It is forbidding me to do that. It won't let me do it. So I can't sell short on AMC. Let me see if GME. So, you can look at things for, now I don't know if that's because, it may be because of my margin, because I'm not in margin. I don't have anything in margin right now. So that might be because I've got quite a few options contracts and you have to have the money available to buy the shares. So let me just take one like Boeing. So that might be, I misspoke. That's probably because of my account. So don't take any of that at heart. Forget what I said. Not true. Okay, so I don't know why I can't sell short right now on those, but it probably has something to do with my margin because everything else I'm currently invested in. Here's a 10K for December. Oh, for December 31st. Okay, so that's old. That's old stuff. That's for the end. All right, so we have the Dow Jones Industrial Average is up 60. We have the NASDAQ Composite is down 187. And the S&P, again, the VIX is dropping down. That's good news, but not quite the same run on the S&P 500. So that's interesting as well. So we're going to battle for this 1005. I'm going to go back over into the trading software. Let's take a look at some of the other ones that are going on. We've got AMD. AMD is down 1.93. We'll look at US oil real quick. Down 9 cents, 8 cents. Okay, all right, but off of its bottom. So this would have been a decent buy at this price, considering the momentum. Let's look at the 3-minute and confirm. Yeah, huge buy on the 3-minute. The blue hasn't quite crossed the red yet, but you got buyer volume coming in back into USO. I would not be surprised if this turns green a little bit later today on US oil. Let's take a look at Tesla. Tesla's down $26, down 4% on the open. Back to the 30 seconds, sorry. So this is 30-second charts, is what we're looking at. Again, the S&P is down 20 points. Rocket Mortgage, any of you that still have that is down a little bit, right around 2% or so. And remember, that thing was a $43 stock not too long ago. Roblox had a nice run yesterday, and they're down today 3.78%. Palantir is going to be fighting for this $25 level again. I don't know what it is about this stock, but this $25 level for them has just been crazy. If I take a look and get rid of the externals And just look at this 25 level, all the way from December. 25 up, 20 down, up, down, down, down. So anything, it'll tend to dip down into these $24 range, $23 range, and pretty much every time it's dipped below there, 22.50 looks like the bottom. So anything above that, and I would say if you were looking to buy again, I wouldn't necessarily worry about this one wick here, but 23, 23.50, 24. If it drops down to there, definitely I think there's an opportunity there to drop into some Palantir, and I might buy some call options if it gets back down there again. I might even set an alert on that a little bit later as things slow down here. NVIDIA down 1390, down 2.94%. My 9 Pharma, 9 meters, down 7 cents. Microsoft down 3.57, so not that much. VIX is going up again. S&P's turning down again. Iterum only up 3 cents. What? Only 2%? Intel, again, the whole market is starting to turn south here. GME holding on to its gains, 278. I don't know that it can, I'll look at these a little bit later for the afternoon stream, but I'm not sure that that GME is going to be able to hit this 300. Top wick up here, was this a accident on an order? But somebody sold it at 267. Somebody else bought it all the way up here at 287. So $20 difference in the in the stock there between the buy and the sell. Good 7-8% swing. Too funny. So we'll see where the battle lines up a little bit later on this afternoon for this one. Again, we stream for about 2.5 hours in the morning, half hour before the market opens, all the way up until for 2.5 hours. So about 11:30 Eastern time, right around lunchtime, 8:30 on the Pacific Coast. We come back for power hour an hour and a half before the market closes. So we'll be back here at 11:30 Pacific, 2:30 Eastern time for the market close. And usually I'll stick around a little bit afterwards. It's Friday, so I expect the volume to be light. When the volume is light, unfortunately, stocks end up going down until they don't. This is not financial advice. This is not tax advice. Anything, if you choose to make any plays or make any buys or sells based on what I'm talking about here on the stream, it's on you. If you follow what I do or what my opinion is, you will lose 100% of your money. Don't believe anything I say. I'm just some guy on Twitch, some guy on YouTube, not even making any money doing it, but having fun because I'm already trading during the day, so I might as well teach a little bit while I'm there as well. I'm hoping to get 2 videos out this weekend on my YouTube channel, and I'll post them on Twitch as well as a live stream where I'll be live in the chat, but it'll actually be recorded from YouTube. Don't tell Twitch. So we'll be looking at that. So let's take a look at AMC. Again, it's battling back here, 1020. So that means our battle line is probably drawn. Our battle line is probably drawn at the $10 mark for options because that's where the options are. They're only at $1 on AMC. We're at GME. Are they $5? $5 difference on GME, I believe, is what it is. But nice little run here, looking good. S&P is starting to flatten out a little bit, as is the VIX, which that could be a little bit of a good day. Let's look at the pools. Again, anything in the gray, these are level 2 quotes that you're seeing. So they may vary, and they're live, so they're not delayed at all. So they may vary a little bit from what you're seeing on your own application. I use Street Smart Edge with Schwab. You can read about the fills that you get using Schwab versus a smaller broker dealer like a Robinhood or a Webull. I love the fills that I get on Schwab. On my option contracts, I pay 65 cents a contract, but I also usually get a few pennies here and there to the good side on my bids and asks. So I think that the market makers over at Schwab or whoever's doing that stuff on the fills on the order desk must take a look at my account and say, hey, this guy's okay. He does a lot of business. Let's go ahead and do that. Here's a good question for you. For those of you in here that trade, how many pages was your broker statement, your tax document, your 1099 from last year? How many pages was yours? Or place in the chat, how many pages do you think my statement was for taxes for all of 2020. So if you can guess that, maybe I'll give you something. But take a guess. Take a guess at how many pages my brokerage statement was for tax purposes. All right, here we go. We are now up 14 cents, up to 1041. Attaboy AMC, that's the way to go. So looking good here. Have a nice little run here. If we come back over here to the, we can watch this live. I'll drop this down to, no, we'll leave it at 30 seconds here. 30 seconds, you can still see the bar movements here. Again, really nice buy. Had a nice solid buy at 10.05. If I go over to the 3-minute, that same buy is going to be on the first candle that it goes. Actually, a little bit in the pre-market, right there at the beginning of the pre-market, even though it dipped, it said, hey, you know what? There's enough here at the end to go ahead and put an order in. Definitely got the blue above the red. Definitely not in an overbought position. So there was a solid buy signal on AMC on the 3-minute chart, which would have been a confirmation to say, hey, it's okay to get into it. So what that means is if we have a battle, it may drop back down a little bit below 10, but this actually looks really good for us going forward. S&P is turning north again. That's good. 1 second. All right, S&P is now up 119, but we have the NASDAQ down 197, and we have the S&P down 15. And again, we'll be able to take a look at the heat chart here in about 2 minutes. It's still going to be gray for right now, so in 2 minutes, let me scroll that down so you can see all of them. In a couple minutes, we'll have the sector update, but that's going to be on the open. So this is a 15-minute delayed heat map. Where I get my sentiment from of what the market is doing is I look at the VIX, and I look at the S&P 500. And those are just two of the main indicators that I look for. It's the reason why I have them down on the stream here, because I can see them on my monitor off here to the right, and then I've got them on my laptop, which is right here. Yeah, this is my laptop screen right here, and then I've got another monitor over here onto my left side as well. And so that's what we have going on there. So a little bit of a turn here on the 30-second, right back at 0 to 1028. But again, if we stay in this range, if we stay above 10, you know, all that stimulus money is not going to get here until probably early next week for most people. We'll see. AMC graph, Dennis, yes, AMC graph is looking good. My option is at $12. There you go. Does that expire today, or does it expire next week, or are you out a further date, Rice? When does your option at $12 expire? So we're up again. So this does look good. This looks totally good. Today, sadly. He says, today, sadly, LMAO. Oh, by the way, in case you guys haven't turned, I figured out my 25-year-old son says, hey, Dad, your chat doesn't show up on your stream. And I had to dig into Streamlabs last night and find out the setting in there so we can see it over here on the screen. So shout out to my son. He doesn't stream. He's got a YouTube site. I'll see if I can pull that up. And he does Tacoma off-roading YouTube type stuff. And he's looking to do some of that stuff as well. So we're looking good. But back to this, we're looking good on AMC, up 1038, up 10 cents. All right, so let's take a look at your $12 option here. And let me see if this thing is going to cooperate on the option chain. I don't know why. I'm going to close this, I think, and reopen it because it seems like, but it is early and there's a lot of people using Schwab now. I think I saw something up earlier. Somebody was talking about possibly going to Fidelity. I've never been with Fidelity, so I can't really talk about their brokerage platform. I have, look at the reviews on YouTube. And when I say look at the reviews, I don't mean look at somebody that's using Robinhood or Webull and then they're just absolutely pitching it. Go find a YouTuber that uses Street Smart Edge that isn't streaming like I am, that does a review on it and shows you. It is normally super quick. When I'm on my desktop in the other room, I stopped using that thing a couple months ago because I said, hey, I've got a 3090 in here for Microsoft Flight Simulator and some other things to keep things running. And I said, I'm going to turn it into a miner. And I turned around and put two old 1060 6 gigabit cards on it in the tower, as well as another one. And it's a Frankenstein. You know what? I can send you a picture here. Hold on. Give me 1 second. I'll show you what I'm talking about. All right, this is my Frankenminer. So I still have my, okay, charts on the bottom right. Charts on the bottom right, Rice, are the top one is the S&P 500. So this is the S&P 500 index, says up here. And I know that's going to be hard to read, but I use this for sentiment. What is the overall market doing? The bottom one is going to be an inverse, and what that means is that's going to be like you could have looked right before we had the next drop. The next rise on the S&P. This is the volatility index. So this is a negative sentiment in the market when it goes down. Negative sentiment in the market when it goes up. Positive sentiment in the market when it goes down. It's called the VIX. So volatility on the S&P 500 index, and it will run inverse or opposite or reverse of the S&P 500. So let's say, for example, and this is what I plan on doing in my own account. Don't do what I do. You're going to lose your shirt. What I'm about to talk about is absolutely, completely dangerous. Okay, so what I have on my Charles Schwab account is I have a function key. That function key, by doing one function, press the button, will at market prices close out every single position I have in my taxable account. Everything. Profit or not, at market, it will dump it all. Okay? When the crash happens, my hope is that I will be able to get out of it, get out of everything. I'm not going to show you all my positions now. They were on stream yesterday, though. I forget which one. I don't know if it was the morning or the afternoon. I think I had my positions shown on there. You might be able to catch all those. I don't want to disclose exactly everything I have and the amounts that I have in my accounts, so you'll forgive me on that. But I will show you some buys and sells as I actually do them. So what am I going to do? I'm not going to short individual stocks, because if you short individual stocks, if the exchanges put in circuit breakers because the markets are crashing, then you will only be able to short a stock on an uptick. And if it continues going down, you'll never be able to get that short until it's bottomed out. That's what circuit breakers do. However, this is the NASDAQ short ETF. Okay. So this is ProShares Trust, Ultra Pro, and when I talk about volatility, and it's basically a leveraged one, so it's almost like buying an option short on the market. When the market goes down, so look at this. This is just today, 1.5% move so far. Okay, so if this is going down, the S&P, look at the top graph on the bottom part of your screen. The S&P is going to up. This is a short security. It's a way to participate in the overall decline of the market if you think it's there. The problem with it is when it happens, you don't get that much of a warning. And this is on the daily. Sorry, let me go back to the hour, 1 hour. Auto, where you at, Auto? Help me out, Auto. Okay. So how much time do you have? So this is on an hour. So on an hour, when the market's going down, 14% in 6 hours, back on the third. So back on the third, the market was going down and crashing. You could have bought this one as it's going down and then buy and sell. I got buy and sell indicators on this. So I would use this one on a 3-minute chart, and let me get rid of the external. Okay, on a 3-minute chart, and you would have gotten clobbered on this thing a little bit this morning. So as the market goes down right on the open, boom, that's where you would have made the opportunity. You could have bought it on the second candle, rolled it up, and sold it right here. So again, my 3-minute chart that I use is something that is critical for me with my own trading rules. Do I violate my own trading rules? Yes, I do. Once in a while I violate them, and the way I usually violate them is I don't take the profit. Greed comes into it. I'm emotional, just like we all are, and greed sometimes comes into it, and I don't sell at the absolute top. Or I miss it, and it comes down. I'm like, well, it'll come back, and everything looks good, but then it decides to do something else because news comes out on the market or something. All right, back to my miner. I don't know if you guys will be able to see this, but this is there's a fan you'll see on the bottom right. There's a graphic cards down there. There's one inside the case, and there's two of them riding on top. So this is my Franken miner, and that's the one on my in my home office. So that's my desktop. So it's actually slaving away making Ethereum for me, and I got another Ethereum payout yesterday, and that brings in, that's one of my income streams. That brings in about $4,100 a month is what I make on that as an income stream. Let's get back up to AMC while I talk about this. So still looking good on AMC, up 18 cents to 1046. On the 3-minute, get back to the 30-second, and I have the external turned off, so that's good. And then anyway, so the Ethereum that I mine, that gets me about $4,100 a month or so in income. My electric bill last month, I can show you. So when you mine, hold on, because I have it out here because I just paid it yesterday. And let me hide the account number on there so you can't get that. Okay, so I have 36 different graphic cards that are mining Ethereum. I'm making about $4,100 a month. And let me get up here. $811 was my last electric bill. $811, and I paid that. Wednesday or yesterday? No, yesterday morning I think I paid it. It came on Tuesday. Tuesday I think I paid it yesterday. So it's something that, exactly, good point. I made $3,000 profit. It takes money to make money. What you need to do, hold on a second. Nice little run up here on AMC, looking good here, up 2.5%, 26 cents. Let's look at the 3-minute. Everything confirms on the buy signal that it shot out here shortly after the open on the turn. So that looks really good. 1055, that's good. The S&P is basically up a little bit now. Let's look at seeing what's going on. We should go back. Let's go back to I said we were going to look at the $12 calls. There they are. So you have, all right, you have 21,000 other people that are in on it at $12 here. So, I probably have, if it gets close to there, I can sell something for profit to try and help you out later on in the day. And I'll actually buy some shares if we get close. If we get close up to 12, I will help out with the cause and try and do that. You could also, if your brokerage firm allows it, you could roll that out to a later date. You'll probably have to pay a little bit of premium, but you can roll that out to a different date further if your brokerage firm allows you to do that. If they do not allow you to do that and you want to roll it out, call them. You can probably talk to a human being that can enter that order in for you if your brokerage firm doesn't allow you to do it on the fly. So even though you're down right now, it's showing that it's down a penny right now. It's looking at about 10 cents a contract is all you're going to get on it. And the volume today is already at 2,700 contracts on that $12 call that expires today. But let's go back to the market depth and take a look at the pools here. So we are 34 cents up on AMC, up to 1061. That's looking good. We might have a battle at 11. Let's see, at the 11 we've got 22,000 contracts at $11, and so that looks pretty good. And let's check the in the money. I can see my software is working a little bit better now, thank goodness. 27,000 at 10. So 27,000 at 10. I'll leave this at the around the money. So when we click on it the next time, we'll have the information there. But this will show us pretty much all of these. These are all the contracts here that are in the money on AMC today. So anything $9 and below is in the money. My calls for next week, I have them at 4. And then in April, I have them on April 16th. So I have March 19th, I have the $4 options. I have 30 of those contracts at 4, and I have 15 of the contracts at 8 that I paid premium for. But again, we're looking at a declining price as it gets closer to maturity, which is why your $12 are at 10 cents right now. So looking at market depth and the level 2s, these are level 2 quotes that you're looking at here. So we got the bid and the ask at 63 by 64. You gonna let her out? Will? Yeah. Thank you. So you can take a look at things here on the gray. On the gray, you have the dark pools. On the greens and the reds, those are the buys and the sells. I'm going to take a look at the volume and see where we're at. We are just about 30 minutes into the open, and so the volume on AMC, 14 million on 152. So 14 divided into 152. So we're hitting about 9% of the volume. 0.9 divided into 6.5. So right about 10% of the day has gone by. So actually looking really good here, 1093. So you know what? Our hedge fund's letting AMC run as a trap. AMC had good earnings. We'll go into the FinTel. Good question. I don't know. If I don't know something, I'm going to tell you flat out, I don't know. You would hope that they're not, but you have the S&P. Here's the thing. When the S&P goes up, and here's the heat map. Watch everything go. 15-minute delay on this, by the way. Okay. So you got a lot of the tech, which is why the NASDAQ is in the red. Okay. Banks, financials, oil is up. ExxonMobil and Chevron are up. Tesla down, Amazon down. All those are down. But here's the thing on the hedge funds, and we're going to look at the short interest here as it runs up to $11 here. So what happens is, and let me take this tab because I can type and talk to you guys at the exact same time. Well, kind of. I'll load this up and I'll do this. So what the hedge funds are doing or not doing, the problem, which is I hope the regulations that they fix, is the fact that we don't know what they're doing. I don't use limit orders. I don't use stop orders. Why? I don't want to advertise my position as to what I'm willing to get out of it, because the algorithms will take that information. They program their algorithms to look at the interest. Why do you think we closed at 8:01? We had somebody come in a couple weeks ago and we closed at 8:01 on a Friday. Why? Hey, your $12 might look good here, so don't panic yet. As we run up to 11.17, now we're up 8.7%. So we're getting a nice run here on AMC. So as the hedge funds, as they look at what the limit orders are set at, they say, hey, if we take our algorithm and we short ladder attack, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell on the bid by pennies at a time, and the algorithms are so quick in the HFTs, the high frequency trading algorithms, that it drives the price down, because they know if they get it down, if this is the level and they're buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, and they're just churning this and it hits that, X amount of people get stopped out of the stock. And then they lose their money because they set their stop limits. We talked about this the other day when we looked at the options contracts and how many call options are out there at, $20,000, $900,000 if they look. So again, a little bit of a turn here at right at $11. If you look at the bottom of the screen, the S&P 500 is still trending up. The VIX is heading down. That's good news for the market overall. We have not turned positive on the NASDAQ because the techs are getting hit. So that's down 151. We got the S&P down, but the Dow is up 139. A little bit of a turn here. But look at the volume. The seller's volume is less than the buyer's volume. Look down here at the bottom. The seller's volume is less than the buyer's volume. So, and I got to clean this chart up too, so that the volume shows up and this MACD doesn't show. I can move it down here. I'll figure that out later. So, but we have the blue line blue line. If we're going to do blue line, we're going to talk about it on the 3-minute chart. That's still in a positive side on the 3-minute chart. We're still on a buy signal. It may trend down. It did give a sell signal on the 30 second. Let's see if it gave one on the. It is not giving one on the 1 minute, but I look at the 3-minute. But it's going to cross here. But look at your sell volume compared to your green volume over here. It's not exceeding. What that means is, even though it's down, 20 cents off of where, or 45 cents of where it was, could this be an attack to drive it back down? Well, we've got just as many contracts expiring at 10 as we do at 11 as we do at 12. So that on the dollar expiration for options contracts is a big deal, because all those market makers and those other people are on the other side of that transaction will do whatever they can with high frequency trading and algorithms to go it down and even move shares between brokerage firms. What you don't see on your quotes is, see all these grays that come through here? These grays are institutions and your Melvins, your Citadels, your Schwabs, your Merrills, all Fidelity, all the market makers that have these other positions. That's why you see decimals up here on Schwab, up here with the last trade. So last trade, 94.05, 95 cents, 95, 95, 99, 96.13, 94, 90, 93.1, 93.4, etc. So those will be the dark pool, which are the grays on the level 2 quotes on the time and sales over here, and then the level 2 quotes on the bid and the ask. You can see, this is a high flyer right now, so it's moving there. So let's go back over into the AMC side of things. So the level 2s are super important on that. And I'm going to take a look here. I'm going to go into the SEC holdings. Let me check the chat real quick. Borrow rate was 15%, I believe. Yeah, it depends on the brokerage firm. Don't trust Fintel. Other brokerages have been saying 13% and up. I did. I saw that in the AMC Reddit as well, where they talked about, started with a Q. Some brokerage firm up in Canada that was showing 13.94% or something like that for a borrow rate. I don't set stop loss. I set my option limit sell to $5, laughing my LMAO. Okay, and that's probably not a bad idea. So consolidating here. So remember, what did I say here? We were over here a couple minutes ago, and I said the sell orders do not exceed the buy. When the sells don't exceed the buy, but now the buy orders do not exceed the sell. So this run back up to 1093, it's very questionable right now whether we're going to be able to hold that right at this moment. So that is somewhat questionable. It's not letting me in, you dogs. Please click after you have disabled your ad blocker. All right, I'm going to disable my ad blocker if I can figure out how. So bear with me a second. I don't know where it is on the Brave browser. Extensions. Maybe is it an extension? Ethereum provider for using dApps. Oh, I could do that on there. Hangouts. All right, so back up above 1101. That's a good candle there, folks. That's a very good candle. All right. Maybe it's an advanced. All right, I got to Google this. Hold on a second. I had to Google how to disable the ad blocker. I'm doing this just for you guys. Okay. Where's the how-to? All right, Brave. Disable shield requires just click on your search bar at the top of the screen. Shield symbol will be displayed on the right. Click it to pull up a menu. Are you kidding me? It's that quick? Aha. Okay. All right. I turned it off. Aha. All right. Okay. And I did read the stuff about Fintel and their stuff not being that great to use. Hey, what the heck? Holy cow, what's going on here? All right, let me get that thing up here. Okay. All right. So what Fintel is showing right now is they are showing 4.1 million shares available to borrow, and that's as of 52 minutes ago. And they're showing the rate of 3.7. I do not subscribe to this. I'm not going to pay. I don't know how much their fees are. Plans. I think they want. So $24.75 billed quarterly. There was another one that had it out there. I forget who it was. It may have been Trades. Orbix, I think, is what he might use. So I might look at that one too, because that guy's just hilarious. He's an officer. If you haven't checked out his stream, Trades, he is hilarious. A lot of energy, more than me, if that's possible, and it is. He's an officer. I think either in the Guard or the Reserves or the Army or one of the two, or the Air Force. I have no idea which. But where he's stationed at right now, he's unfortunately stuck in a hotel room, and he streams from his hotel room when he's not on duty, which is just freaking awesome. It shows anybody can do this. I bought this laptop and my 2 portable monitors so that when I travel, I can still trade. So we're up 64 cents there. So still hold on to this 1093. Let me see what I missed here. So our hedge funds letting AMC run as a trap. Could be. Borrow rate was 15%, I believe. Somebody else had one where they called their broker, I think it was Ameritrade, and they called them up on the phone and then they asked, hey, what's the borrow rate right now on AMC? If I tried to call Schwab right now, I'd have to disclose personal information as I got them on the phone. I don't want to do that because some of you guys can lip read. I don't set stop loss. I set my option limit to sell. Okay, so we still have that one. So I don't necessarily know what they're doing as far as that goes. I do want to check. Let's go back here, and I want to go to ownership. Yep, here we go. Buyers, and let's see if this updates. This will show an old date, and then it'll update. There's the update. So it goes back to the 10th, and you had so still nothing really since the 1st of the month. So nothing really since the 1st of the month on the buy side. Let's take a look at the sell side. Same thing, delay. There we go. Again, nothing since the 1st because they only report a couple times a month. But on the sell side, the stuff was there. So I think you're right. I think we take any of this with a grain of salt. We don't know exactly what they're doing, and that's the problem. I think that if I have to disclose my limit orders on the open market, which is understandable. I mean, we like having this information. Having this information is valuable. Knowing what these are all limit orders, folks. These are all orders set to hit. Basically, if somebody's buying or selling. So somebody is all prepared and ready to go at $11 to exit out of 13,000 shares. Now, as it gets closer to 11, will they let those trades execute, or will they move their limit, or are they on a trailing stop that as the stock goes up, their limit price to sell moves up at the same time? So that's a possibility. That's a possibility as well. Call them and move away from the camera. Give us the rate. I'll tell you what, I will do that in between streams because it's I don't even know if they may tell me what they're going to tell me is, well, you probably need to sell a few things to enable yourself to sell short today, and that's true because I don't have anything in margin right now. Let me go into my account. Let me see what I have available on my day trade stuff. But when my day trade balance allows me to go into, it doesn't on options. So let me go into my margin account, check my balances. So yeah, so I can day trade $59,840. I can buy right now on stuff if I wanted to make trades. I usually try not to trade during the stream. I've already done research. I've not placed any trades today as of yet. The only trade I placed yesterday was the 10 shares I bought on AMC, but I have all those call option contracts as well. Will I pick some more AMC up today? It depends. If it's a close battle between 10 and 11, I'll probably contribute to the cause. If it's a close battle between 11 and 12, I definitely will participate to the cause, even if I have to sell something. If we can get, along with others, get that up to 12, that would be great. My confidence level of that actually happening today got me, dude. But we can certainly hope for it, but it doesn't necessarily look that way right now. But we're way early. We are way early. We have, market's been open for an hour or for half hour, 41 minutes so far. And so again, we had this first drop, had volume come in. Now we're battling. This is the battle here. When you see volume basically on a straight line down here, and the red and the green on the bars down here, then that's pretty much what we're looking at. You can make these things look like nothing. See, I can do this and say, you know, it's a very, very flat, boring day. Or I can do something like this and drag it down and say, whoa, Nelly, what's going on? Huge run. But then I press auto and we're back to what it really is. So be careful when you're watching other people's streams. I don't see 12 happening, but I'm praying for 13, right? My biggest decision is going to be, when will I make it? Tuesday or Wednesday? I'll probably make the decision Tuesday or Wednesday whether my $4 contracts that expire next Friday, whether I'm going to A, sell them, B, let them exercise and own the 3,000 shares of AMC, which is risky. Okay, I like the options for that. Or C, roll it over to a later date at a similar price premium ratio through my Schwab account. So I'll decide probably next week. I don't think, unless there's some massive run today, that I want to own this stock long term. Okay, my personal reasons on this stock tell me that I think it's a $20-$25 stock long term. After all this shorting, running up, confidence in local or immediate confidence in the stock, movies come out. I'm looking to hold it at least through the summertime, at least through July 4th, according to Adam Aaron, because you have all those movies coming out between Memorial Day and July 4th, and you can probably extend that out to Labor Day. And if we open up capacities, Washington goes to 50% capacity on the 22nd. I don't think that date's going to be moved up any sooner. LA's talking about allowing theaters to open for the first time, except for all the people coming over the border that might put a kibosh on that because they're letting them all in, and then they're all going to go up to LA, and then a bunch of them are probably carrying the virus, and a bunch more are going to get sick, and everybody in the food kitchens and the missions and everybody else helping them out at food banks, they're all going to get sick again, and you may see a surge. So if you see a surge in Texas and California again, that might cause issues. All right, so again, we're still in this battle here for this $11, flattened out. S&P is flattened out a little bit down here, top chart. The VIX has gone down, which is positive for the S&P. As far as the averages go, by the way, I had redone everything over here and it didn't take. I don't know if I was supposed to save something in TradingView or not. So we have the S&P. The S&P is down 11 right now. We have the Dow Jones Industrial Average, that is up 135, and the NASDAQ is still giving back some of its gains. It's down 161 to 13,237, or about 1.22%. I haven't even looked at mine to see. Let's take a look at where. Let's examine my risk profile, and let's see where I'm at on the day compared to the indices. And we'll leave this up here. So still up 45 cents on the day. With a summary. So, oh, nice. I can't show you this, but my overall portfolio, I'm up $1,831. So yay, good for me. What's up today? My Ford is up today. My U.S. oil is down. Ford is up 22 cents. U.S. oil is down 30 cents. And let me take a look at my other. Hello, where's it at? Oh, there we go. My Rocket is down 37 cents. And my AMC is up. My Iterum is up 4 cents. My AMC $4 options are up 20 cents. My AMC $8 options are up 58 cents a contract. So that's up. So yeah, I'm up. My options contracts that expire next week, I'm up $600 on one. I'm up $877 on the other today. My Ford, I'm up $325. My Microsoft options, I'm down $700. My NVIDIA options, because they're tanking, I'm down $1,300 on. And my USO option, I'm down $6 on. So there we go. So not a bad day. I'm probably done looking at that for a while here. So decent day for me. I hope you guys are having a good day today too. So the fact that I'm up 0.81% when the NASDAQ's tanking, or giving back gains. It's not tanking. This is not a correction. This is not a crash. This is not a tech run for the hills type thing. So don't believe all the hype that you hear. 1076 down 48 cents now, or sorry, up 48 cents still on AMC. Broke this support level here on this one. Let's look at the 3-minute. It probably broke down that one as well. There's a sell over here. But again, it just gave that sell at 9 minutes after. So it was consolidating a little bit on a 30-second, gave the sell. So now you can say, okay, where's the next stop down? Next stop down, it hit it on this candle here, this 1057. If you look at my pivot points from earlier this morning, we're here. But again, this is only a 3-minute chart, folks. So don't get super excited about I'm sorry, that was yesterday. So we are good. So I misspoke. Sometimes I look at this, I have to, because I go back and forth between the charts. 1057, 1058 is a good support level based on all of yesterday with what happened, because this is all yesterday, and that's where the pivot was. So now we broke down and we went below that. Actually, we didn't. We hit 1059, 1056, 1056. It looks like we hit. So it did break that down just a little bit. Let's see here. Yeah, 1057, 1057 it hit. So the fact that we bounced off of there is good news, because that means that it confirmed. Again, this is just my rules, the way I look at things. I use a 3-minute chart for a final confirmation on buys and sells. That tells me that our new support right now, which is where it'll bounce down to before it goes up or goes down further, is going to be at 1057, 1058. 1128 is not resistance. I disagree with the pivot here. Resistance is probably the top of this candle here before it wicks, 1098. So about 13 cents from here is probably where the new resistance will be if it goes back up. On the 30-second, I don't necessarily use my pivots as resistance and support on the 30-second, because we talked about where the lines are, down here on the VWAP and the 200 period moving average. The green is the 50 moving average, so we're looking pretty good there. I moved around the colors a little bit, so we're above the 50, but we're definitely above the VWAP and the 200, but that's on a 30-second chart. If you look at the 3-minute for decision making, at least in my case, we're above all three right now. That bodes well for the stock. We're starting to head into a little bit of an oversold condition. So when the RSI is moving down here, and this is the 3-minute chart, the MACD, the blue is above the red. On the 3-minute, the seller volume is exceeding the buying volume. So even though this is down to an oversold position, not necessarily a confirmation, but this blue line could still turn, and we could get another upswing here after this candle here. 30-second gave a buy, but again, this is dangerous. This 1056, that's a nice little bounce, because that 1056 pivot, and that wasn't there a second ago, is equal to the support level, or I'm sorry, the resistance level of yesterday. So the resistance level of yesterday on the turns was early yesterday morning on the market, and it was at that 1056, 1057. I saw two pivot points on down wicks on bottom candles at that point. Is this stuff helpful? Give me a yes in the or I can shut up and go on to something else. Let me know if it's helpful if you see this in the chat. All right, let me take a quick look over here on nothing here. Okay. All right. Yes, haha, and I'm learning. Good. I'm glad you're learning. This stuff is good. But again, don't do what I do. You're gonna lose all your money. Warning, fair warning given. Okay, so nice bounce here, back up here. The green is the 50. Again, the green is the 50 moving average. Okay. And I changed up the music too. I went to more of a dance electronica, more positive type stuff. Hey, it's very helpful. Knight, thank you for the shout out. Appreciate it. Ape see, ape do. No, do not do what I do. Don't do it. Stop. TOS, time out. I don't need FINRA getting on me. Okay, so my background, for some of you guys that don't know, if you're new to the channel, or hit the follow if you like. If you like the stream, follow me on Twitch. Also, if you want to go and give me some extra subscribers over on YouTube, I'd appreciate that. You don't have to do it right now, but maybe later on, or really after I upload a couple of videos this weekend. I filmed one of them already. I still have to process it with my editing. I've got to get the other one done this weekend as well. And it's going to be, one of them is going to be on income streams. One of them is going to be on IRAs and what you need to do before April 15th. And we'll do some stimulus talk and some breakdown on the stimulus as well. That was just signed as well. So we're looking pretty good here. AMC 70 cents again. We're going to go right back up to this $11. There it is, 11.2, 11.3. Nice run up 7%. What's our other boys doing? 24 bucks. All right, you go GameStop. They're up 9%, and they did not break 286, so they're right at the high of the day here. 286.94 yet. Pivot up here to 286.94. It shows up down here when I have this one open with the overall price. What's that too? So this one might battle for 300. It's, let's see, let me go to 3 minutes. Sorry about that. Analysis. Quick analysis. All right, so quick analysis. Would I make a buy right now? Well, I always look over here to the right, and I always look at my S&P 500. What's it doing? What's the VIX doing? Where are we at on volatility? S&P coming back down just a little bit of a tad, but we know that GameStop and AMC don't necessarily follow what the overall market is doing, and this is proof. AMC going, or I'm sorry, S&P 500 declining, going down. AMC, same time period, or 30-second view, sorry about that. Same time period, AMC going up. So it's got this resistance level here. Let me look at the 3 minute, and I've got externals turned off. And let me look at yesterday. You can't find, how far back do I got to go here? Apparently to here. So you're going back to the yesterday, this 281 level. We broke through that. So we've got 3 battles above the old resistance of yesterday. What that means, in my absolutely amateur opinion, is that that's where the new support level might be on GameStop. Now we'll see later on through the day whether that holds or not. And I'll scroll this back to just about the beginning of the market open. There we go. Thank you, chart, for participating. So again, this 285, 286. Is it going to be able to hold this? On the 3 minute, we're on a buy signal all the way back down here at 259, and that was literally right at the open, and no sell signal being given since that time. So that's good. That's good news as far as that goes. By the way, my buy and sell signals are just something that I use. It just as a confirmation if everything lines up on my trade. I've got it when I'm making a buying decision. I'm looking at pennies, and I have to make a decision within 5 to 10 seconds with all the information I have already based on prior research. Like I spent some time last night. Let's take a quick look at AMC here. 1094 again, flattening out just a little bit here. Good sign here that we bounced above this 1103, 1102 the last time here. So that's actually a good sign here. That means our new resistance is back down here. I'm sorry, our new support level is back down here, 1083 or so. So if we bounce down, we're going to look for a bounce back up around that range. But again, this is on a 30-second chart. I did some more research last night on Rocket, and what I'm about to talk about is somewhat on liking the music, loving your stream. Thank you very much, Charlie. Appreciate it. Hit the follow if you're not doing that already. Appreciate the shout out. Thanks for coming by. Love you guys. Okay, so I did some research on Rocket last night. What I was looking at on Rocket, because I still have some shares in my in one of my retirement accounts that I manage. I bought Rocket on the dividend last Thursday or Wednesday. What day was the 5th? I bought it on the 5th. Or the 4th? The 4th. I bought it on the 4th, last Thursday. So I bought Rocket to capture dividend because you had to have it at close of market on Friday because it went X date on Monday, record date Tuesday of this week, which means I had 750 shares, so I'm getting an $832 payout of dividend on March 23rd. 250 shares of that, so 250 times 1.11. So out of that $832, $277 of that is in my taxable account. I only had 250 shares on my taxable account. I'll have to pay taxes next year by April 15th on that $277. But now what I'm looking at is I'm thinking, did I sell too soon? Did I make a mistake? I bought Rocket for the dividend at $24.89. Yeah, $24.89 and $24.83, I think, in my retirement account, which was the 500 shares. I sold it at a profit, which was good because then it went down, right? But then I went back and I looked at, well, did I sell it too soon? And I was looking at I think it was the 1 hour last night. I spent a little time here digging into it, and I looked at what level was it? I said, did we have enough, support in here to get it back up to 32.36? And so if I do end up getting back in a Rocket, it'll be something very short term. I might buy a contract that expires, say, January of next year, buy a call option, and I might buy it at the 30. I think I was looking at the 32 level. I wasn't real comfortable on the 36, but I was looking around the 32 level. And you say, okay, 25 divided into 32, you're talking about a 22% move in a year. I want it for the pop. In other words, I want to be able to make 50% on that option if it goes up half that amount within that time. So 25 to say around 28, 29. Well, we had a good level here at a good pivot here at 28.68. And while I'm looking at this one, GameStop's still up 26. AMC 1092 hasn't moved. So this is one I'm looking at and I'm considering. My problem is that after the stimulus money gets introduced into the market next week, because let's face it, I don't get stimulus checks, right? I haven't gotten any of them, so I don't qualify. That's a good thing for me. I disagree with the whole concept, but I'm glad you guys are all getting stimulus checks. I love it because it's helping me make money in the market, so I fully support it. And if you have a family of 4, you folks are getting $2,800. Rock on. Don't put it all into AMC though. Put some of it into some long-term plays for your future. Okay. And by the way, if you have IRAs, Roth IRAs, your deadline to submit contributions to your IRA is April 15th. Don't believe me? Go to the IRS.gov website. They'll confirm it for you. April 15th is the last time you can make donations for year 2020. And even if you filed your taxes already for the refund, you can still contribute to your IRA. You can just report it some other time, or who cares? We're probably all too small for the IRS to worry about us. But I'll have an IRA video out this weekend, because you do have until April 15th to make your contribution for last year, and then make it for this year. But once you make that contribution, make sure you invest it. Make sure you put it into something. And remember, you can't touch that money until you're 59 and a half. If you do touch it before you're 59 and a half, you're going to have to pay a 10% penalty, and ordinary income tax rates on the rate for the year that you're filing those taxes on, you'll have to pay income taxes on it. So if you're in a 20% tax bracket, that's a 30% hit. If you look at compounding and say, take a look at call it a 7,000 catch-up provisions over 50. Call $7,000 into your IRA or your Roth IRA, and by missing a contribution year can be huge in your retirement. Because once that stuff is in there, it's tax-free for as long as you own it. So that's good stuff there. I can't contribute to Roth IRAs anymore. I'm not making any more contributions to a traditional IRA anymore, because it's the same for me as leaving it in my taxable account, and I want to control the money in case I want to make another investment into real estate or metals or something of that nature. So Rocket is the next one that I'm still looking at, and the reason I'm looking at it now, and don't do this move, you're going to lose all your money because I'm going to be wrong on it, is that I think it could get up to 36 by next January. Here's why. We have a Democratic House, and we have just about a tie in the Senate, but with Vice President Harris being able to do a deciding vote, and Manchin in West Virginia, he's the pivot player on the votes in the Senate. Because of that, I think the forbearance and the rent moratoriums that just got extended through the latest stimulus package through August of this year are going to be extended out even further. which means if you're in trouble and you're not paying on your mortgage and you're going into forbearance and not paying it right now, that's a good thing. If you could not afford to make your mortgage and you use forbearance, I don't oppose that whatsoever. I kept paying my mortgage, boom, boom, boom. I quit my job in the middle of a pandemic on October 25th of 2020 to do this. To make money doing this, I need to make $191 a day trading in order to pay my bills. It's March 12th. I made that for the whole month, I made that within the first 2 days of the month. So I don't have to make another trade this whole month, the rest of this month, to pay my bills. But what I did do is I want to take a look at what the effect of mortgages and forbearance is going to do on the markets. Here's the problem, though. Where I live at in Washington State, people can't buy houses. They cannot buy houses at all. Hey, we're back up to $11 on AMC. I'll leave that one on while I talk about it. We're talking about Rocket, though. People can't buy houses. There's no inventory. So I'm looking to move. I'm looking to sell my house. Every month I delay the sale of my house. Delay the sale of my house. It goes up by $7,000 roughly every single month. It's crazy where I live. Okay, I live in a suburb outside of Seattle, so with all the riots happening in Seattle and Seattle's being closed down, people are exiting the city and they're trying to buy where I live. I'm like a half a block from 3 different schools. I got a library right down the street from me. The fire department's super close, and I've had nothing but increasing property. I had a developer that bought property behind me, and I had RV parking that's going to turn into a sidewalk. I turned around and sold that to him for $23,000 before I sold my house. Why? Because it's an income stream. I can take that $23,000, I can put it into, it's only a boundary line as a adjustment on the property, because that's going to be a sidewalk. I'm losing my RV parking even if I decided to stay here, which I'm not. So Rocket, if forbearances are still in play, the only thing that would interfere in my decision is interest rates. If interest rates go up, real estate prices are going to go down. Rocket's ability for people to refinance are not going to do it anymore because they already did that last year. I never refinanced last year. I should have, but I didn't. I have a 3.5% mortgage rate. I'm happy with that. I'm okay with that. My first mortgage was a 7% back in 1994. So we're back to $11. Well, we're knocking on the door, certainly. We had 1 wick above to 11.25 or so, and then slammed right back down. The problem I have with it right now, let me go to 3-minute. We're waffling. We're basically, this is consolidation. This is what this is called. We're basically on a buy from about 15 minutes ago, which is good on the 3-minute, and the buyers are exceeding the sellers. Look, no sellers on the 3-minute. That's good news. On the 30-second, so what that means is this is looking where it's at. But look what's happening. I want you to look at this shadow right here. If you look at this shadow in here, this is a Bollinger Band. And on a Bollinger Band, when it constricts like that in a consolidation phase, the 3-minute, it's super wide. But on the 30-second, at least very, very, very short term, it's getting skinny. When it gets skinny like this, if this was a longer term chart, the skinny on a consolidation where it didn't break down to the prior level should mean an upswing. So let's watch this for let's watch this for a minute or so, and let's see if I'm right or 100% wrong. It's probably going to be 100% wrong. It's probably going to tank now because I said that. Somebody was asking me, when will you know? I got an email on this. When will you know when it's time to sell? Got to go heading to work. Thanks for the information. You're welcome. Thanks for stopping by. Rice Fun 1, and we'll see you on the flip side. Again, I'll be back this afternoon streaming the last hour and a half before close. Work hard at work. I don't always say take it easy at work, or I always say work hard. Be productive for your job. They're paying you to do that. Be the best you can be, and you'll always succeed. At least that's what's worked for me. All right, so we're at 1094 now. We're up 6.43%. It is turning a little bit. This is getting just a little bit wider here, but again, on the 3-minute, if I look at the 5-minute, it's gonna be killer. It's gonna be huge, right? So you can't really look at that one on the Bollinger Band, but at least short term, there's a down candle back down to 1091. We have the S&P dropping off, so that's why it's dropping off. The rest of the market is slight uptick on the VIX on the volatility. So again, 1080. What do we say? 1083. Yeah, 1082, 1083. If it goes down, let's go to GameStop real quick. They're still up 12%, a little over 12.62%, 292. Hold on. What did I say it was yesterday? 281. So it broke through and held. So it broke through and held and then come back down to yesterday's resistance to 281. So your new support is at 281, 281.50 on GameStop. New support level 281, 281, 281.50. If you're looking to buy more shares, don't do it. Wink, wink. That would be a level that I would be comfortable at on the 3-minute if everything else matched up on GameStop. Again, we'll see if it's going to take a run. Got up to 295 on a wick here a few minutes ago on GameStop. So we might have a battle for 3. The bulls are definitely in control, so that's a good sign. All the sell volume that you see is less than the buy volume, and that's a good sign. On AMC, we have the same. We have more buy volume on sell, which accounts for the 5% increase up to this 1085 range. Again, it's we hit above 11, so 1128. All right, we can talk about that for a second. The high on the day, 1128 pivot point on a 30-second chart. 1128 being the high for the day. What does that mean? Well, what that tells me is that there is a possibility that this thing may decide to run up to 12. Okay. If it runs up to 12, I already made a commitment that I will help support that and buy some shares, and I'll buy shares directly if we even though, because at that point my options are making me enough money that even if I buy it to get it above 12, fail or not, I'm so profitable on my options at that point. So if I lose money on the share price, it's not going to be a big deal. But if we get into a battle, wherever that battle is towards the end of the day, I'll have the level 2s up. So we'll be looking at this. The late stream at the market close, we'll have the level 2s. We'll have the dark pools that you normally don't get to see on other trading platforms. And then we'll have the full time and sales, and we'll be able to scroll these as well. So I can look at these and say, hey, freeze it. Where are we at? What bought? What sold? What are the dark pools doing? And where are we at on those? So we can watch those live. That'll be the afternoon stream as well. We're still here. I'm still not going anywhere. I'm going to be here for another hour or so. Unless if we got a lot of volatility, I'll stay on stream for a little bit longer because it is Friday. But I usually don't stream all the way through. But I'm not necessarily opposed to it as the channel grows. So if you guys want me streaming a full market, call it 7 hours a day from a half hour before open, tell your friends and get me more viewers. If I hit, on average, let's call it 150, 200 viewers on the streams between here and YouTube. Did y'all hear that bird? I have 2 skylights right below my nook here that let in some very nice outside light. And I think I have a bird up top because I just heard them. But if I get 150, 200 viewers on stream between YouTube and Twitch, I might be able to stream all day. But I do have other things that I need to do. I need to manage my own accounts as well, and so that might come into it. All right, Dow Jones Industrial Averages. We're looking at the level 2 quotes here as we're bidding between 1089 and 1090. Dow Jones is up 153, down 197 on the NASDAQ, and down 15 on the S&P. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Okay, so again, down 194 on the NASDAQ, down 14 on the S&P, up 152. And, oh, you know what? I wonder if I can, let me see something here. No, can't do that. I'll have to open up the other one next time. All right, heat map. Okay, so S&P is heading back up again. that's good news. Again, AMC and GME are not going to do what the S&P does. They're totally disconnected from that because we have all the market sentiment and everything else going on. So 290 on GameStop, up 30 points, up 11.85%. AMC holding its own. Let's take a look at NVIDIA. Let's see if it's come back a little bit. Only down $9 now, up to 511, so that's good. Nice stop here, 507 to 511. Divided by 511 equals -1, so we'll have 1% there off the bottom. So we could have got a 1%er if you're scalping there. Tesla is down, back down to 676. I don't know if I would buy back into Tesla again. I didn't buy back in before. When I sold it at the end of last year, I forget, some part in December, I think. Hey, my chair just went down. I don't know that I would get back into it. I sold it at 663. I missed the run up to $900.40. I did not participate in it then. Then I really got into, I did some scalping on some of the Chinese EV makers from China. And you know, I did some day trading on Li Auto. I did some on NIO. I did some fuel cell. I did some Solo. Did some Tesla and XPeng. Workhorse, I bought very, very short term when it had that huge run up, and I did a quick scalp on it. I think I made 4.5%, which with the very, very small amount. I probably made, you know, $1,000 on it. But it was a very, very nice, very, very quick play. It was basically in. I think 40 seconds, I got the bump. 40 seconds later, I was like, shift F4, I'm out, and got a nice one on that one. But Tesla, you know, I like Ford better. A lot of people like GM as well. I did an earlier streams early this week, and I talked about Ford. I always talk about Ford because I think it's a better play. I think Ford is going to be back. You're going to see a lot of people in these Mach-E's this summer as they ramp up production on them. You got the hybrid F-150. They're going to go to all electric vehicles by 2025. I think every one of them is going to have an all electric. I think is what they're looking at. And the Mach-E is just an awesome one. They've got the new Bronco out as well. And so there's still a lot of upside. Now, it's dangerous to buy it right now because of this huge upswing. I mean, this thing is basically almost doubled since the 5th of January, and it's up 56% since January. So I like the stock. What can I say? I'm bullish on it. Where is my... So those are some of the EV makers. So if I take a look at watch list again, one of my other favorites, this is so weird. I added, for some reason it didn't save all the changes I made. Ugh. All right, so one of my favorite scalping stocks is Boeing, and Boeing is up another $9. Why? Why this huge jump in Boeing? And I don't own any right now. I was too late on the last buy. I've got to share that this thing made me a boatload of money last year, scalping it and trading it and holding it and the whole 9 yards. Southwest Airlines. Southwest Airlines. There's a rumor yesterday that they were about to get a 132 737 MAX order from Southwest. That's the rumor. On top of, Boeing gets 737 MAX order for 24 planes from 777 partners. So they're saying Friday morning it received an order, and this was 7:04, so 7:65, 4 o'clock in the morning Pacific, for 24 of its 737 MAX planes from alternative investment firm 777 partners. So the deal for the 737-8s, which is part of the MAX group, includes an option for 60 aircraft. So a firm order for 24 and an option for 60. I'm telling you right now that this thing is back. Great company. I haven't done due diligence on it. I plan to this weekend. So maybe I'll have something on Monday for y'all on Boeing, long-term view. But definitely there. All right, back up into the 11s. Let's go. All right, so now let me slide this down just a tad. I like having my watch list where I have GameStop and AMC because it's alphabetical, so it's quicker for me to find stuff. Show up on the screen so I can say, hey, right now AMC is up 11%, 289 at 29.23. So let's look at the dark pools and let's see what they're doing. Go back to the 30-second chart. Nice run, 3-minute. We'll have the confirmation on the buy on the 3-minute. There it is right there, about 20 minutes ago. So again, we did not break back down here to this 1080. Got down to 1078. So that's really, really good support at that 1086 level. Looking really good there. But we're looking super here. This is super. Freaking boomer stuff. I'm not a boomer. Any of you guys call me a boomer, I'm probably going to ban you from the chat. I won't do that, but I'm a Gen Xer. I'm 55 years old. I'll be 56. Actually, on Monday. Yeah, Monday I'll be 56 years old. So I was born in 1965. So because of that, I'm considered a Gen Xer. I'm not considered a boomer. So don't call me a boomer. You can call me a boomer. I don't care. All right, so 11.13. Here we are. I got the dark pools in there. Got some sells coming in. That's going to drop at a penny. 11.13. We're in the battle. But again, look, the volume looks really, really nice here on AMC. Volume looks really good. Definitely in control over the bears here, and we're just on a nice little run. Sellers ain't got a chance here, so the battle is still 11. Again, 11.28 is where we topped out at the beginning of the day on the run here, about a half an hour, right about a half an hour after open. Random volume influx, right? How about it? But again, it's getting slammed at this 12 level. We've hit that 3 times. This is the 3rd time we've been there at 11.12, and it's bouncing off of that. S&P's going up, VIX is going down, and again 292 on GameStop as well. It's up 12%. Why is my percentage? Let me slide this over a little bit. Because I have Ethereum. There we go. There we go. Now we can see full percentages on everything. Bitcoin, 57,000 level, great level there. Ethereum, there's a jump. There we go. 11.28, busted. All right, here we go. All right, this is actually a good sign. The fact that we topped this candle, even though it wicked right back down immediately and then back up again at 11.28 is good news. What that'll probably mean is that we could have just established a new support level at 11.02, 11.03 on again, timeout. Super short-term stuff right now. Super short-term stuff. But if we hold this, we're looking good at this 11.02, which we've now hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times today on the 30-second chart. Confirmation on a 3-minute. You're going to see all green here. Confirmation buy about 20 minutes ago or so at the $10.80 level. That looks really good. Looking at prior support from yesterday. Used to be down here. We're establishing new support levels today, at least on the 30-second side. It looks like as we break through that 11.28 and that candle push right up from there, the sellers they're getting killed right now. But super early. We know we know when they're coming in, right? Let's not fool ourselves. They're going to come in if they try. They're making their battle plan right now. They've got to decide whether this afternoon they're going to try and drive this thing back down to below 11. It depends. If we get, I haven't checked. Let me see anything breaking here. Where's my top news? Dude, it's like freaking 10 to 11. Where's my top? Holy cow, we haven't had top news for 20 minutes? PPI, I forgot about that. I am so sorry, you guys. I am so sorry. I forgot to pull up something for you guys. And I looked at it beforehand. So we had some good news this morning on the economic calendar. PPI remained the same at 0.5%, so that was good. Still don't have the sentiment from the University of Michigan, but the PPI came out, final demand on the February numbers unchanged at 0.5%. Here's the thing, I read a couple articles, and the articles basically said the government is fudging the numbers on inflation. I tend to believe that. I believe that inflation has already come into play, and I believe those numbers are being suppressed. My own personal opinion. The reason why, I got gas yesterday. I get 89. I have a Jeep Cherokee. Good story I'll tell maybe next week on my auto purchase last June. I paid $3.44 a gallon for 89 unleaded. We were into the twos not that long ago. And if you look, I think what were we yesterday? 282 on gas prices, 378 in California, 283, so up almost 2 cents. We were 378 in California. That part I remember. 380, so up 2 cents in California since yesterday. 323. I paid 344 yesterday. I'm in Washington, and you can't tell me that oil's going up, gas prices are going up, and 1116, 1117, nice. Again, if we hold here, again, we're looking at this level here. So sellers are coming in. Sellers do not exceed the buyers at this point, so we're still safe. But this is the level we're at. My last pivot was 1112. It probably is not going to be able to hold 1112. Don't freak if it goes down. If it goes down 11.2, which we hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different times, looks to be a newer support level, unless we make it number 3 for 11.12, which that's where we're at right now. So now what we want to see is if there's going to be a bounce or if it's going to continue. And let's go into the time and sales. There's some buyers coming in 11.17. Nice. 11.13. So now we're battling. This is the battle. This is the little battle right here. S&P is still down 19 on a day. NASDAQ down over 200 now, down 219. And the Dow Jones Industrial Average up 132. S&P turned for the south. VIX index up. And I want to look at something here. Nope. I'm seeing if there's any news items that I'm missing here. New excuse to destroy. Violent insurgents added again, attacking federal courthouse in Portland. What they're rampaging over now. I know you have the trial going on up in Minneapolis, St. Paul, and they basically cordoned off a ring around that courthouse, not even letting anybody even close to it. Don't know if that's it. $11.18, still holding on to that. That's good news. So that tells me my DD is good. This is good. The fact that this is happening right now isn't necessarily a confirmation for you guys, but what I use it for is when I see this and see, hey, it may or may not bounce off of this volume spot, is everything that I'm talking to you guys out on stream, I'm doing every day anyway myself. I'm just sharing what I'm doing. And I'm looking at these levels, and I'm looking at the due diligence on AMC, and I'm looking at the levels, and I'm trying to constantly figure out support, resistance, sentiment, support, resistance, what I buy, what I sell, what would I do if I was in somebody else's shoes right now? Would I buy it? Would I take a pivot? Would I make a decision on 3 minutes and buy back down here? Well, if you did, congratulations, because on this one, let's say you missed it and you hit it the next candle, you're up 9% right now. 3 minute confirmation. So 3 minute confirmation chart, you'd be up 9%. I would be up 9% right now if I would have bought at 10.22. Right, we're up $1. So up almost 10%. So I look at these levels and I look at where they're at short term. I look for confirmation on the 3 minute. Sometimes I'll do this. I'll go 3 minute. Let's look at Boeing. I'll go to, hey, stop that. Talking to my computer. I'll take a look at this. I'll put it on a 3 minute. I'll go to my 3 chart default. I'll look at my daily chart. Hey, this is supposed to be a 5 minute chart down here. I'll look at a 5 minute chart. I'll look at a 3 minute chart. I'll look at a 1 day chart. I'll flip this one over to a 30-second. I'll look for immediacy on what it's doing, whether I want to make a decision. I'll come over here. I'll look at the S&P 500 to look at the overall sentiment and the volatility, and I'll say, okay, it flattened out here, it flattened out here. Go back to my 3 minute. I'll take a look at a stock. I'll say, hey, I've got good momentum here. I've got good candles. I'm in a slightly, it dipped below the oversold condition on the RSI. The blue line is slightly above the red. Buyers are out going on that. And then I would turn around and I would come into here and I would go into here, place my symbol up here. Everything confirms. Now I take a look, and let's say if I was scalping to make my bills each day, I need a 19% move, or I'm sorry, a 19-cent move. So I need to put about $262,000 at play. Well, I'll do 1,000 shares or something, and I'm looking for 19 cents on a move. So it might be a 2 minute, 3 minute play on 19 cents. So let's look at that for a second here, and let's just say that I'll put in a buy-in here a couple seconds ago at 261.87. So 261.87. So 261.87, and I'll go 261.87 plus 0.19. So 262. Well, I'm already up on it. So let's say 262.69 plus 0.19 cents, 262.88. And I'll go once per bar, and we'll see if that hits it. Okay. So that's all I need, and it's just freaking hit it. So sorry about that. I didn't expect it to happen that quick. So as quick as I just did that, I would have already had that order in. I would have executed it, and then now I'm watching it. Now I'm watching it, and I'm saying, hey, what do I want to do here on the stock, and do I want to hold it? So now I would just watch the time and sales. I would watch it because now I'm just going to ride it up a little bit and see what it's going to do. So now I'm going to come back over here into my broker software, and I'm going to set my sell ready to go, and I'm going to say, okay, we're at 262.60. I'll just keep clicking over, or clicking, sorry, on the buy side. I'll keep clipping over here, and it'll change my limit price. If you look at my limit price that I have set up here, watch that box where it says limit price. Every time I click here, it's changing that price, and then I would just click sell. I have my review option turned off, and it would sell the shares. I get my 19 cents, and I'm done in a minute. I've made my bank for the day. So I'll put a lot of money at work, but again, my confirmation on a buy, something that can be as quick as that, and I would look at news just like I did on a stock, and then make a decision of what I want to do. I have not made a single trade today. I haven't done anything. Let's take a quick look. Before, I was up, what was I up before? 0.81% on the day. So AMC 1113. Let's go back to the daily chart on that, and let's get back into it. And again, you know, it looks like at least on this particular time, I'm right at that level. So it broke down just a tad below it. We'll have a shortly. We'll have a pivot point possibly show up here at this 1103. But again, what did I say before? 1102, 1103, right? So that's where it bounced down to. Solid bounce off of that. Well, okay, as solid as it can be. And let's see where I'm at now. Hey, I'm up 1.12%. So on a day like this, I don't need to make that. I don't need to make that trade to try and get 19 cents because the overall value on my account is up. Why should I take the risk? Why should I put a couple $100,000 at risk buying Boeing, trying to scalp something for 19 cents, even though that would have been a win? And look, I would still be holding it. I would be staring at this thing like this at the screen, and I'm looking at the time and sales, and I'm looking at the sentiment and saying, okay, where's the sentiment? What are they doing here? What are we doing here? And then I would say, okay, got some reds, boom, boom, I'm out. take my profit and run. I'm happy. It goes up another 20 cents. I don't sit there and go, oh crap, I'm an idiot. I missed out on the gain. Oh, I sold my Tesla at 663. I didn't buy it back. And ride it all the way up to up to 900. But you know, I could have got back in on it. Where did it bottom at? Yeah, that would have been the one on the 5th. Last week would have been the buy. That huge. Remember that day last week? Whatever day that was, the 5th, right? Or sorry, Thursday. 4th, 5th was the 5th. When did that thing go down big time? Man, these days run together. On the 5th, yeah, Friday. Friday would have been the time to buy Tesla. If you would have bought Tesla at 539, and let's say we're all dumb retarded apes, and we didn't buy it up, or we didn't buy it till we saw the signal, and we missed the first candle and we bought it here. So if we missed the first candle because we're dumb, and we hit it here on this candle here because we were outside doing something, you're up almost 12% on it. Don't worry about hitting the absolute bottom to put in a buy order. Don't worry about hitting the absolute buy on it. Look at the momentum, look at your confirmations, and look at what you're doing, and you can still make money in this market. And folks, it doesn't matter if I'm doing 1,000 shares of something or I'm doing 10 shares of something. I bought 10 shares of AMC yesterday. What did I buy it at? Anybody remember? I forget. All right, so we're at 8:02 here, 11 o'clock. So we're probably gonna stop the stream in another half hour or so. 11:20. We're holding on to these gains, which is very, very good news. Nice pop. Coffee gone. Switching to water. Drink a lot of water. If you guys are staring at a computer like I am a lot of the day, even if you're at work, make sure you're hydrating. Over here. 3 minute. Probably had a yeah, I said by that 1084, 1086 level was a good place to get back in. So it looks like we're definitely in command here on this. GameStop is looking pretty good as well. 280, again, it keeps bouncing off that 286, folks. Keeps bouncing off that thing. And, had to run up to 295 again. But that 286, it's going to have problems staying up to 3. Definitely have sellers in control over the last hour. The sellers are running this stock over the last hour. And those could be HFTs, high frequency traders, trading shares within each other. They're just rolling it and churning it. A penny at a time, or $1 at a time in this case, or 50 cents at a time. And that's why you see lower highs. That's why you see lower lows. So they're driving it. Will they be able to drive it? We got a turn on the S&P here. Hold on. Spain approves $11 billion Euro package. Let's see the top news. U.S. PPI increase, underlying inflation moderate. Disagree. U.S. economic bridge may finally span pandemic and as benefits vaccines roll on. U.S. stocks down and spiking bond yields, so that's what's causing the S&P today. The bond yields are spiking again. We'll take a look at the dollar in a little bit. Biden winds down Mexico program, whatever that means. Don't know, don't care. China's Ant Group, regulatory-driven revamp. Okay. Airbus targets Boeing's Freight Fortress with A350 cargo jet. So as Boeing finishes out its orders, I think the last order for a 747 is to Atlas for cargo. They're going to try and convert that 787 into freighters, is what they're going to do. Goldman Sachs starts return to office push. Good luck getting people back into an office. They'll be looking for newer jobs that work at home. Southeast Asia, grab and talks for U.S. listing. SPAC for grab. Who knows? State seeks curb on girls in sports and flaming U.S. culture war. Okay, yeah, that has nothing to do with the market. Who cares? Scratch that. I'm sure people care. It just has nothing to do with the market. That's all. Okay, let's see here. All right, let's go to the SPY. And the SPY is simply the S&P 500 expressed as a stock, as a SPDR. Spider. Still see some reds in there and yellows, grays, a little bit of green, but definitely more. We're on the sell side. It looks like we're turning a little bit back to the buy side. There we go. Buy side up. And I want to look at something. I want to Google something here. Here we go. All right, let me show you this. Pull this up. Okay, so this is, as you're looking at my time and sales. Let me scroll down here. What do the colors mean? So what they mean... not going to do it. No, don't close. Bear with me a minute here. And you'll see the madness, the method to my madness here. Really, dude. All right. Okay. Okay. All right. When you're looking over here into the time and sales, okay? Green trades at the inside ask. Red trades at the inside bid. White gray trades in between the inside bid and the ask. So again, when you see light gray, these are your dark pools. These are your institutions. Yellow trades above the inside ask. Purple trades below the inside bid. So your purple and reds are the sells. Your yellow and the greens are the buys. Gray highlighted, inside quote change, not a transaction. You rarely, I rarely see those. Okay, so yellow basically buys. There's some purple. There's some greens. Your grays are going to be your institutions. That's why you see decimals to the 3 and sometimes 4 transactions. Let me show you. So when you see something like this here, it's going to freeze it. When you see 3 or 4 decimal places, those are institutions making buys and sells. That's basically what's known as the dark pools. And again, this is Street Smart Edge, is a software I use. It's through Charles Schwab. So this is just on the SPY. Let's look at AMC. I'll pull that one up again. And this is on the time and sales. Okay. Over here, when you're looking at the level 2 quotes, you'll see whether it's on ARCA, NASDAQ, New York Stock Exchange, etc., wherever they're trading at. So here I can go smart and let the computers at Charles Schwab decide where to send my order to, or I can send it to ARCA and only ARCA or I can send it to NASDAQ and only NASDAQ. I tend to use smart. I've gone back and forth depending. Usually, even on an arbitrage, you're not going to get much difference in a spread of something with a lot of volume trading anyway. So usually it doesn't. It doesn't matter a whole lot. What do you think QQQ? Somebody's asking me, what do I think QQQ or NASDAQ index will perform today over on YouTube? Okay, and I'll say, let's look. So thanks for that. Over on YouTube, if you like the stream, hey, give me a subscribe if you can. Hit the like button. The comments definitely help the algorithm, so I appreciate that as well. So let's go into the QQQs. We had a question on that one, and we'll take a look there. Let me get rid of this screen here, get rid of the PPI, get rid of the search screen over here. Again, tech sitting in the red right now. So with QQQs, you have a lot of the tech sector being down. You know, are they gonna end up being down on the day? Whoops, Quazam. I need one more Q in there. Sorry about that. Okay, so let's take a look at the Qs. All right, so looking at the triple Qs here, and again, this is the NASDAQ, so we're down. It's down 1.82%. So if you look over here, and I look at the actual NASDAQ index, where's it at? Okay, it's down 200 or 1.49%. This is down 1.82%. Why? That means that they are more tech heavy in shares that are trading below what the overall index is doing. So they're heavily weighted in something over something else. So if this is down 1.8 and the NASDAQ is down 1.4, that means they are more heavily weighted in stocks that are lower than that. So if we take a look at Tesla, Tesla's down 2.8. They probably have more Tesla in there than the overall index. So let's take a look. So first what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the 3-minute chart. I'm going to take a look at the triple Qs, and I'm going to look at yesterday what happened. And I'm going to say, okay, let's take a look at the, forget about the 10th a little bit. Well, yesterday was an aberration. In other words, with what happened yesterday, do we erase all of yesterday for support and resistance levels, and do we look at what's happening today? Well, what did we have happen yesterday? And what we had happen yesterday is we had the stimulus package the day before it got signed by the, or 2 days before or over the weekend got signed by the Senate. 2 days ago was signed by the House. President Biden was going to sign it today. He decided to sign it yesterday, Thursday, so he can tell the IRS, boom, push the button, start sending the stimmy checks out to those on direct deposit, and checks will come later, I'm sure. You won't get your checks in time for next week. So on the triple Qs, you say, I'll look at my pivot tables, and I'm really looking at the 10th here. And if I was to ignore what happened yesterday and take it back 2 days and make it a little bit bigger and say, okay, where are my support levels? And I'm going to write these down on a sticky pad, which I always have nearby, with my calculator, and I say, okay, if we're looking at support levels and we're looking at 310, my pen died. That's all right. We don't need it. If we're looking at support levels at 310, let's say 310 is a safe to go from there, 310, 310. That's what I'm looking at as far as a level. Now I'm going to go back to my 30-second chart, and I'm going to go back over to today. Whoops, slide that back over to the today. Okay. And look at this. Look at where we're at. Look at the bounces we had. So we had the bounces down here at 311. The problem that we have is that we've gone only as high as 314 today, and we go back out to the 3-minute, and we look at the prior day, everything came into the play at this 313 level. So this is where the underlying is going to come in. So you can't look at something like the triple Qs and you can't say, hey, is the triple Qs going to go up today? Is it going to close higher? Buy on the rumor, sell on the news. Tech has been doing fantastic. It's in an oversold condition. Even before I said that, it put itself into an oversold position yesterday, which is why it dropped down. It hit the RSI, bounced from there. So now we're looking at support levels 316. You got problems there because it's going to be your underlying stocks. So the better question isn't what are the triple Qs going to do, in my opinion. I don't know what they're going to do. What I can tell you is support levels over the last few days prior to yesterday, where we had that huge up and got slammed right back down again today, which means we just erased everything. For day traders and scalpers, it said, hey, if you rode that up yesterday, great. If you held, you're back down today. If you sold and ready to get back in, we'll look at that in a moment. So then you have to ask yourself, who's heavily weighted in the NASDAQ? And you got to look at your Microsofts. You look at anything that's over on the NASDAQ that trades on the NASDAQ exchange, and you got to look at those and say, what are the opportunities? Well, if the triple Qs are trading 1.8% down, and you have the overall NASDAQ index, sorry if you can't see some of those on the bottom, if you have the NASDAQ trading down only 1.4%, where's your problem at? Your problem is going to be in the tech stocks that are down greater than 1.4%. You got Tesla down, you got Amazon down 1.9%, you got Google down 3%. I don't necessarily follow, because I'll look at an individual stock versus an index. I don't own anything index related whatsoever. The only thing I own that could be considered an index is a U.S. oil, USO, which is an ETF on the oil industry. And the index happens to be futures contracts on oil and commodities. So even Microsoft is down 1.7, Apple's down 1.8, Google is down 3.3, NVIDIA is down 2.45, Intel is down 1.28, AMD, they probably got a boatload of AMD. Because a ton of institutionals do. Those are down 1.66%. So all of these are down greater. So what that's going to mean is that your triple Qs are down 1.75, where the overall index itself on the IXIC is only down 1.4. So narrowing a little bit. So something's bouncing a little bit. So now I'm going to go to the 3-minute. I'm going to look at what my stuff is telling me. And I don't even have, I have a sell indicator up here at 319, called 318.78. I look at a 3-minute on a confirmation whether I'm going to buy or sell something. I'm going to look at the S&P, and I'm over here on the bottom of the chart. This is the S&P 500. That's going up. I'm going to look at the VIX. The VIX is heading down. I got a confirmation here. I am not on the RSI. I'm not in an oversold condition. My blue line is slightly above the red line of where it's at right now. I'm looking at buyers and sellers. Sellers are exceeding the buyers, but we're in an uptrend. Will my signal over here indicate a buy? Not until it goes back up to 313.24. If it clips this 313.24, we may go up another $1 or so and start an upswing on the stock. This actually looks good right here. So I could front run and say, I believe in this. I think that's going to be an okay spot to buy. I'm going to drop down to the 30-second, and I'm going to say, okay, I've got a signal here. I'm going to ignore all this noise because I'm really looking at a greater chart. I'm trading below the VWAP. I'm trading below the 50 and the 200. Even on a 30-second chart, I'm below the VWAP and the 200 period moving average. I would be safe to doing a buy at that particular point. I would then go over into my brokerage firm and I would type in triple Q. I'm going to watch the time of sales. I'm going to confirm on my S&P 500. That looks good. I'm going to confirm on the VIX. That looks good. I'm going to look at here. I'm going to click over here and 312.59. I'm going to say, hey, I'm going to go get 10 shares of this at $3,100, and I'm going to hit the buy button, and it's immediately going to send it on a smart contract. So what did we say? 312.11? Was that right? Yeah. So 312.11. I got to get another pen. Hold on a second. So I probably would have been able to get in at 312.11. Okay, so 312.11. All right. Now normally if I'm looking at scalping, I'm looking to make $191. So if I take shares divided by 312.11, 32 cents. Let's go 500 shares times 312.11. And I'm already in the stock right now. I didn't buy it for real, but that would have been, if I put, say, $156,000 of play into that. I would need a 38-cent move. So I need this thing to go to 312.49 for me to make what I want as a goal on the day. I didn't even look at it. I'm over here looking. I'm looking at. I literally am looking at my calculator saying that I need the stock to hit 312.49, and I'm out. So this is basically what I do. And so I would look at that, and what I try and do is I'll take something like the triple Qs. I don't buy the triple Qs. I did not make a buy right there. If you did, and you were looking to make 32 cents, I would have made my money on the day. I would have put $156,000 at work based on a quick confirmation to say that would have been a safe trade for me to get it up to 312.49 and sell out. Now, let's say that I watched it a little bit. I'm watching it a little bit. It's still trading up. The S&P's on a turn. The VIX is continuing down. I probably would not have sold yet. I would probably be watching it, and I would have my finger on the trigger with a function key, boom, to basically hit a function boom, and it's going to take me out of the trade. Not at market. It would be a limited order on the inside on the level 2 quotes, and by that, what I would do there is I would put a sell order in. Here we go, 377, 376. I would click 378, and I would click sell, and it would sell it. And so 312.78. So 312.78. If I would have sold right there, just for grins and giggles, and 312.78. minus 312.11. So I made 67 cents on that trade at 500. I just made $335. And I'm done trading for the day. So based on a question I got over on the comment section on YouTube, I basically looked at a quick play on triple Q, hadn't looked at it at all today, and I would have been 100% comfortable making that trade with what I use for my confirmations on making that trade and making 32 cents on the bid, and I would have made $335 on the day. I'm done. I can walk away from the computer. All right, I'm going to get breakfast. I'm out of here. I'm done. Peace out. I'm out. That's an example of what I do. In reality, I would have bought it at 312.11. I would still have it right now. And because the confirmation is the market sentiment is down, so that's good. When the VIX is going down, that's good. When the S&P 500 is going up, that's good. If I flip over to the index side now, we have the IXC. That's your NASDAQ index. That's the actual index. It's down 1.33, so it's recovering. So now I type in my QQQ again. And it's down 1.64%, but that's a good one. Now, what I talked about earlier also for Larice, your question over there on YouTube, thanks a lot for hanging out. By the way, hit the like button while you're there if you can. If I was a short to market and I wanted to exit everything, I have a function on my computer set to my Street Smart Edge account. I basically hit Shift Function F5 and it will market sell every single position I have in my account. At that point, if the market crashes and I catch it, now I'm buying the SQQQ. The SQQQ is a short. And basically what that says is that if I thought the market was going down and was going to continue going down, that's basically a short contract. I would not do individual shorts. I'll just do the SQQQs and ride that. And I may or may not put a limit in on that. But we'll see what happens there. All right, I've got another question. I hope that answers your question. If it did, let me know in the comment section, or if you have a follow-up question to that over on YouTube, I'll be happy to answer it. Next question comes from TS Chimps. Gotta love it. I still haven't ate it. I've been here since 6 o'clock in the morning for 2.5 hours. I haven't ate my banana yet. Question, when do I buy into AMC? I don't know, dude. I loaded up another 3K. Idea for dips today, or should I wait for power hour? All right, without looking at the stock, if you wait for power hour, you may be too late. If you wait for power hour, you may be too late. This is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I do not give financial or tax advice. This is strictly for entertainment and education purposes. If you do any of these plays that I'm talking about, whether I'm doing them or not, which I did not make a single trade today, you will lose 100% of your money. With that understood, let's look at support, let's look at resistance, let's look at AMC and say, if I had arbitrarily, hypothetically say, I don't know, let's call it $3 grand. If I had $3 grand, would I put it into AMC, and at what point would I look to buy? All right, so what I'm going to look at, again, I'm going to do the exact same thing that I did before. I'm going to look at a 3-minute chart. I'm going to head over here. I'm going to say, okay, we're into lunchtime now on the East Coast. Things tend to waffle. Or, said another way, hedge funds tend to stay at their desk for the first hour of lunchtime and tend to drive things down a little bit. But you have the VIX is heading south. The S&P is going up. But time out. We already know that GameStop and AMC have nothing to do with the S&P 500 or the VIX as far as market sentiment. They trade on their own values. So what I'll do is I'll come over here in a second and we'll take a look at AMC. We're going to look at the 3-minute chart. I'm going to pull up the 5-minute chart and the daily, even though the daily isn't going to give me enough information. I'm then going to look for confirmations. I'm going to bounce to the 30-second chart. I'm then going to pull up my brokerage account and I'm going to start watching the time and sales, looking for the sentiment. I'm going to double check the sentiment over here on the S&P and the VIX, and then I'll decide if I'm going to take a trade or not. That's what I just did on the triple Qs. I applied the exact same thing. Larry says, thank you for your answer and your time. Very interesting. You deserve a like and a subscribe. Thanks, dude. Appreciate it. So let's take a look at AMC and go over here. Again, don't make this trade. Don't do this. This is even though this is live and these are real quotes. By the way, if you're looking for the charting software that I use TradingView. It is free for you to use. And I'll throw this link down here. You click on that, and that gives me a little referral thing. If you end up actually buying the software and paying the extra for live quotes versus delays, I have a monthly premium subscription, which gives me, I don't even know, I think I get like 20 something, I don't even know because I'm unlimited. I also pay $6 additional every month for live quotes on the New York Stock Exchange, the NASDAQ, and I forget the other one, CME, something futures or whatever it is. All right, so let's take a look at AMC. So now I'm going to come down here. I'm going to pull my chart up into 3. And I'm going to look at, I have my 5-minute chart down here in the bottom left. I have my daily chart over here in the bottom right. And I have my 3-minute chart up here. So what I'm looking at is I'm looking for my resistance, my pivot point resistance levels, and I'm looking for commonalities. By commonalities, what that means is I'm looking for numbers that look the same. So instead of me trying to draw a line, instead of me having a chart that's full of, I apologize, time out. There's a lot of stuff on my charts because I need to visually take a look at what I'm doing within a 10-second time frame to decide if I'm going to buy into something based on research I've already done the day before or the night before, the morning before, or in between at lunchtime, etc. So now I'm going to look at the daily, and on a stock like AMC, it's hard to look at because of all the volatility that we've had. If I switch over to Boeing, I'm going to get my answers pretty quick. We are in an upstream. We're above the 50. We're above the 200-day moving average. These are turned into 50 and 200 moving periods, and then we have the VWAP as well. So we're above VWAP on all these. But let's go back to AMC because that's the question that you asked about. So I'm looking at the 5-minute chart here. We're above them over here. We're above them over here. We're riding the VWAP over here. We've got buy indicators. Okay, we know where that's at. And we know what we're really looking at is the 3-minute chart is what I use. What I'm looking for is I'm looking for opportunity. The blue line down here, RSI, when it basically starts heading south, that means that it's opportunity. Give me a second. I'm not hydrating enough. If you're looking at is something in an oversold condition? Is it in an oversold condition? When it dips below this white dotted line, it's oversold. When it dips above this dotted line, it's overbought. Okay, but it went overbought and it stayed. So right now I've got a blue line on my 3-minute that's below the red. I'm approaching an oversold position. Let me zoom in a little bit, make these bars a little bit bigger, slide this over just a tad. My buyers are still in control over my sellers, but barely. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a look and say, okay, where's my support and my resistance? I already know it used to be at 1057. We changed our mind in that because that 1057 point is going all the way back to, sorry about the scrolling. That 1057 level is going all the way back to yesterday. We bounced it up to 1087, and then I said, hey, we're in a new day. We're solidly above. We hit the 1056 again. I don't know what I'm doing, but I guess I was accidentally right on that one. For all the other times I'm freaking wrong. Rocket, AMD. Looking at you, AMD. Big time. Should have been $105 stock, dropped down to 70. The loss about 10 grand. Oh well. Made it all back though on NVIDIA calls. All right, so taking a look at this, and I say, okay, where's our new support level? 11.2, 11.3, I think is what I talked about earlier in the stream. So on a 3-minute, here's the problem. We're above the VWAP, we're above the 50 moving average, we're above the 200 moving average. So what that says is this thing, if it dips, may come down to, I think the last level we looked at was 1086. Is that right? I don't think it's going to come back down to the 1050s. I really, really don't. Will it dip down? The last buy signal we had, 1084. Okay, so the last buy signal we had was a 1084 on a 3-minute buy. Then it said sell at 1124. It's still operating on the sell signal. So my rules, my own personal rules, I'm not buying it right now. Not at this second. Where would I be comfortable? Right here, man. If it stays at 1076, my own rules. If it stays at 1076, because this is an ascending 50 period moving average on a 3-minute chart. So I didn't say day average, I said period. In other words, each one of these candles, these bars, these volume bars, these candles represent a 3-minute period. So this is going 50 minutes, or I'm sorry, 53-minute periods, 150 minutes, so 150 divided by 60. We're looking at the last 2.5 hours, okay? So on a 3-minute chart, my 50 represents 2.5 hours. Okay, if you want to write that down, take notes, take notes. My 50 represents 2.5 hours on a 3-minute chart. I'm going to look and I'm going to see if it's going to come down to this 1076 level, and I'm going to watch it. My problem I have right now with the stock on this is that it's at 1087. The blue is below the red. We're into a selling pattern, but we're approaching the oversold, which is good news if you're looking to buy back in. Okay, so now I'm going to drop it back down to the 30-second because I have my level. So now let's just say, okay, we're saying, what did we say? 1070. See, I already forgot. Let's call it 1077. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take an alert and I'm going to go give me 1077. And I'm going to go once per bar. I'm going to go create. So now I've got an alert. I've got an orange line there that says, hey, what's it going to do? I can go back over here. I can pull up my brokerage account. I can type in AMC. And now I'm getting ready to go. And say, okay, how many shares am I going to buy? All right, so I'm going to say, let's just go 100 shares. Okay, so 100 shares, we're looking at $1,000 buy. And we said 1070, right? But I'm going to look for a confirmation as it drops. So here we go, 1089. Now we're heading back north again. So even though I have my time and sales and everything over here, I still prefer to watch it because I can usually I'll have my brokerage account on a different screen down below. I'm showing you guys time and sales so that you can see this live and what's happening. So now let's go into the 30-second chart and let's see where we're at. And we got to go to 1070. I don't know why my alert isn't showing up on here. But we still got sellers in control. But it's flattening, isn't it? It's flattening out just a little bit. S&P is going up. I'm glancing over here. I'm looking at the S&P. It's going up. VIX is going down. Don't make this trade. Don't do what I'm doing. Law of Chaos says we're at 1076. Not yet. It only hit 1084. It hit 1076 earlier. So we're seeing, but that's the level we're looking at. It got down to 1085 on this last run. It hit 1076 earlier. Again, this is scalping. This is basically, it doesn't mean whether it hit. It's a great question though, Law. For average, that's what I meant. Okay, very good. So that's good on an average as well. I have things programmed into my charts that match my trading strategy and my own personal rules of whether I'm buying something or not. And so if my stuff, my averages might appear slightly different than yours, that's cool. We're within a couple cents of each other. It's all good. This is only what Crypto Sonar does if he's making it. What my name is Joseph, by the way. If that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm still looking. Let me pull this over so we're not bogged down by there. It dropped a pivot point at 1084. Now we just dropped below that, 1082. So now I'm looking. At the blue line because these are converging. I've got a skinny Bollinger Band here, even on the 30-second. I'm going to bop back over to my 3-minute. My 3-minute looks good. It needs to bounce. It needs to bounce off the 50-period average, which is the 2.5-hour average, on my 3-minute chart only. But I'm getting more comfortable with it. Except for on the 3-minute, you still got the blue below the red. Sellers are in control on the MACD. This is moving average convergence divergence. Okay, but it's still coming down on the 3-minute. S&P's dropping those. This isn't good. The S&P is with a stock that's separated from the S&P 500. It's separated from the NASDAQ averages. But as the overall market goes down, I'm not going to buy it if the overall market is going down. So we're probably going to hit an alert here. 1078, 1079. Back to the 3-minute. Okay. What's my alert at? 1077, right? Back to the 30-second. Okay, 1085. A little bit of a bounce. On the 30-second, that might turn into a doji. On the 3-minute, probably not. Almost touched it, though, didn't we? Man, we were close. We were close. Okay. My rules tell me don't buy. My heart tells me that I should have bought. Okay. So look at that. But this is it. So okay, ignore that buy signal. Don't do it. Don't do it, dude. Don't do it. I sold it. I sold at 1090. Gonna buy back in the dip. I love my scalpers. Scalpers rule the day. There's a buy signal there. We don't have it here yet. On the 3-minute, my rules told me not to buy. But again, we saw I came within a penny. What that tells me, for my own personal thing, is my strategy is sound. Now we had a bump on the S&P. So if I was ignoring you guys, not looking at the chat and not looking at it, I probably would have bought over here at that 1070, 1077, 1078. I may or may not have bought at that particular point, depending on what was going on. If you happen to grab it because it almost approached my limit there, mine there, good for you. You're up a little bit. So on a 3-minute, let's look at the 30-second. Now on a 30-second, you got a 3-bar play here, right? You got 3 bars. You got basically, looking back here, 3 bars. We broke it on the second, continued on the third. Now we're into the 4th bar on the 30-second, but the 3-minute, did we drop into a buy yet? Didn't drop into a buy. We're off of a bottom wick sell over here. 1078. Look at where it hit. It bounced. I said 1077 on my alert. It dropped the pivot at 1078 on there. It hit 1070. It hit 1078. That's what it hit. That wick there. So now we have there. So if this one confirms, it may drop a buy signal here if we get a confirmation in another 30 seconds on that chart. We'll come back to that one in a minute. We're flattening out here. S&P dropping a little bit. VIX is staying down. That's a good sign. Overall markets, we got the Dow up 141, NASDAQ down 167, S&P down a little bit. 1093. All right, let's see the 3-minute. Let's see the candle. Let's see if it drops a buy, either back on this one or this one. May not. Takes a second. Oh, because it's on a 3-minute. So that would have been the place. It dropped a pivot at 1078. That's where that bottom was. I chose 1077. Would I have made a buy at that point? On the 3-minute, it did not meet my rules. Okay. It did not take the blue above the red. I may be proven wrong here, and hopefully I will. I hope I'm wrong on this. I hope the damn thing goes back up to 1140, settles above 1150, and we drive towards 12 for our buddy Rice Fund 1 who needs it above 12 for his options. If we get into a battle, I'll join in the battle later on this afternoon, one way or the other, if we're close to 11 or close to 12, because that means either way, I'm making money on my options today. I'm up on those anyway. So we're good there. So 1097, so 1096, up 68. If it drops in another minute, when it drops another candle here, if we go up just a little bit, we may see a buy signal over here. We may see it insert a pivot point back here again on 1078. Again, I was wrong on my pivot. Again, don't do what I do. I was wrong by 1 penny. Okay. So Law of Chaos says yeah, we're at 1076. My pivot says 1078. My quick look, because I'm doing 15 things at once, said 1077. That's where I put my alert in, but that's okay. And we'll leave that up there. For now, we'll leave it up there because that's been confirmed a couple times, more than once today over at that level. But we're looking pretty good there. Got about 20 seconds left on that candle on the 3 minute for any type of confirmation. Got a doji here on the 30-second forming. May or may not be a reversal on that. I don't think it will be because the S&P is flattening out. But again, folks, we got low volume right now. We got lunchtime. What percent of this volume we are? We're 2 hours into a 6.5 hour day. We got 61. We got just about 50% of the volume. So we're 2 hours into the market, 2 hours and 12 minutes into the market, and we've got 50% of the volume on the day. Not bad. But you usually need about 25 to 30% in the first hour to go ahead and get and exceed your average volume. A little bit of a bounce here. Let's see, the 3 minutes should be another up candle. There we go. We got an up candle there. So the play would have been actually pretty good there at 1078 for a quick scalp. 1098, yeah, you would have definitely made some money there. Gonna buy back in that dip. Law, did you get back in when it came back down to 1078? And are you riding it again? All right, let's go back down to 30-second while he sees that. Think of an answer. And another question. What do you think about rising bonds and its effect to stock market? U.S. dollar is now at all-time high. US 1 OY is now at all-time high at $1.63. Okay, so looking at the dollar, and we can camp out on this one for just a quick minute here. All right, my own personal beliefs, and this is only my personal beliefs. I've got some research in D&D that says it. How do I say this? Inflation is here. I don't care what the Fed says. I don't care what the suits say on the networks. We already have inflation. Your confirmation of inflation is gas. And here's what I mean by that. I used to work for a company and that had large fleets. And when you take gas prices and you're already up $1.25, $1.30 on gas prices, what does that mean? That means every single thing else in the economy is going to be going up because the cost basis for getting all those products to market has gone up. Okay, so look at oil. Let's look at Brent. We'll look at the Brent crude first, and let's go out to the daily. Oh, we're already on the daily. Look at this rise, man. Just from, let's just say January. Let's just say January 1st. Oil prices are up 35%. If you're going to believe the government and think inflation is here and you think bond market is, what is it? What do they say? Something like, Chaos has his set at 1065, 1070. Okay, good. Only playing with a few hundred. No, very cool. The amount doesn't matter. It's the structure and the sales, because as you make money in the markets, you're going to be able to move your dollar amounts up. Hopefully it's not everything you have. Be careful. But back to crude oil. As oil prices increase, again, I'm making bank, folks. I've been making bank over the last 7-8 months on U.S. oil. It's made me a bunch of boatload of money. You know, if you take a look from October, this damn thing is up freaking 81%. Look, I have a freaking target alert at $70 on USO. It's an ETF. It's a K1. It's taxed whether your gains are realized or not. Make sure you know that going in. But I've got a $70 target on that thing. So when I look at the bond market and I look at the dollar and I say, what's going on? Let me go down to TLTs. Here we go. This is basically your 20-year treasury. That's going down. Bond yields are going up. Do I think that us as retail traders, Laura, as we look at the bond market and look at everything what's happening, the institutional buy. I saw who was it? Johnny Bravo is his name on YouTube. Guy's hilarious. He's a high school teacher. His daughter's a flight attendant. They trade cryptocurrencies, and he said something, and he had a chart up yesterday. I think in yesterday's stream. So shout out to Johnny Bravo if you ever see this stream. Basically, he had something that was talking about the institutional, that the retail investors in cryptocurrency on Bitcoin and Ethereum and DeFi was going down like this, where the institutional buys on Bitcoin are going up like this. And you have a ton of companies that came out last month and they were talking about buying into Bitcoin. And you had people basically coming out and saying to hedge the stock market, they weren't buying bonds, they were buying crypto. We're at 57,000 on BTC. BTC again, a better play is Ethereum. BTC is up 527% over the last year. Ethereum is up 674%. I'm 85% of my asset allocation in cryptocurrency is in Ethereum. 15% is in Bitcoin. I put my horse in play. That's where I'm at. So when I look at bond markets, what I think is going to happen, my own personal opinion here, is I'm waiting to sell my house. I'm waiting for the market to stop going up where I live. I'm gaining equity about $7,000 each month. I don't care if the market goes up or down. I'm going to make money in it either way, either through the SQQs or I'm going to do my scalping. Okay. But I want to teach you guys long-term plays on buying companies as well. But we're in a trader's market. So Lawcast says, yeah, I just play the money. I got bill money and food money. All right, dude. Just all right. I hear you. I'm with you. I got you. I got you. All right. So back to Laura's on. I hope I'm saying your name correctly over there on YouTube. Thanks for the comments as well. I think that if the market's going to go down, when you're talking about a yield, though, when you're talking about a yield on a bond, dude, unless you're buying Cinemark bonds, they came out with a huge offering paying 5.78%. That's a junk bond. That's a junk bond. We just looked at two different plays in the last hour on both AMC and the triple Qs that we made a percent on. All right. I have no interest in buying bonds. I've not been in a bond market in a long time. The only thing I care about bonds is interest rates on mortgages. And those rates are steadily starting to go up. So as they flatten, if they take a big spike, boom, I'm listing my house probably that day. I plan to sell it on my own. I'm not going to use a real estate agent because where I live, there's absolutely zero inventory. And when I say zero inventory, if I look at time and sales of real estate properties, if I were to put my property up for sale right now, they have to go back 6 months to get a comparable property. Typical offers where I live are going $35,000 to $50,000 above the ask. I'm not paying a real estate agent. I will pay a real estate agent a buyer's fee of 1%, selling my house for sale by owner, if they bring me a buyer. If they say, well, I have a contract with my buyer for 3%, then I'll say, well, I guess your buyer's got to pay you the other 2 off the side because you're not getting it from me. This is a seller's market. What I plan to do is sell my house. I'm moving to a different state with very low taxes and capital gains called Wyoming, okay? And that's where I'm going to retire. That's where I'm going to base from. Then I can get back into Binance because I can't get into Binance in Washington State. I used to day trade cryptos in 2017, 18, and 19 on Binance until they changed the laws and Washington State kicked them out. So now I'm stuck on Coinbase. I don't like to trade. I used Coinbase Pro, but they still got maker and taker fees over there. So I haven't traded crypto in a long time. I'm holding, again, 85% Ethereum, 15% Bitcoin. So to close up on the bond question, as we're at 1093 on AMC, I'm a lot longer than what I normally stream, but you guys are still here asking questions, so I'm happy to stay because I appreciate the love. I'm disconnected from bonds. What I'll try and do is if you come back Monday, I'll do a little DD on the yield curves. I'll do a little DD on the bonds. But I think we have this separation. And I think that if people look at cryptocurrencies as a hedge against the market and the institutions are plowing into those, if they're not plowing into bonds, why would I buy a bond that's paying 3 or 4%? Why would I do it? My plan to make money in a down market is to either short shares, wait till they drop. Again, I don't care. Boeing. If Boeing, here's some DD I did back in, wow, these charts are still on here. Look at this. Look at this. This is back in September, October. Here's DD I did on Boeing at the time. And I said, this is the problem right here. You have all these folks that still have profits potentially to still trend the downside, okay? Then it ran up. Oh, let me scroll back. And it didn't stop because we had everything coming back. I was out of it. Where did I sell? I haven't traded this one in a while. But when you look at Boeing, if it drops, who cares? If the market drops, who cares? What you need to look at how much money you have at stake right now. I am not on margin on anything. I have margin in my account availability. I could trade a good amount of money today. I can put 60,000 at play. As long as I close the position by market close, I'm good. I'm not paying interest on it. I don't want to. I want to leave cash available to play in my account. I have cash available to play with in my account, both on the taxable side, I'm not going to show you the amount, and using margin. Why? Because I want opportunity. If I'm wrong and the market goes up, I'm still participating. I will not sell out of my U.S. oil or my call option, but if I hit the dump key and exit at market position on everything because I'm going to put, call it 50 or 100,000 of my own money into, say, S triple Qs or more. I doubt I will. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. You probably won't find out until after I do something like that. By the way, the S&P is heading north. The VIX, the volatility is heading down. AMC still at 1096. So again, we're flat. It's lunchtime. So all I care about is volatility, because let's say a junk bond like Cinemark Theaters is paying 5.78%. I could scalp and get 22% on a quick time frame. I can look at a 5-minute chart, 3-minute chart on Boeing. I can go to today, and I can say at 9 o'clock this morning, I got a buy signal on Boeing. And let's say I rode that to my sell signal. Let's say I missed it. I screwed up. 4.7%. Why would I buy a bond? That's where Loris, that's where my trading rules tell me. That's where my comfort in trading comes from, is I don't need a bond for security when I don't care whether the market is up or down, because if it's down, I'm just trading at the new level. I'm looking for this and this, and I'm looking for my trading rules, and I'm looking to make money that way. Again, I'm defined as a pattern day trader. I trade under the PDT rules, which means I have over $25,000. What I think is going to come into play, I think we may see legislation later this year. When they go through FINRA and go through the hearings and get done with playing around, they're going to punish the retail investors. The way I believe in my heart of hearts is they're going to punish retail investors. They're going to raise the PDT. The two figures I think they're going to raise it to is, I believe that they may raise it to 50,000 or even 75. I don't think they'll go 100, 50 or 75,000. I think they will come out with possibly more rules. I hope the biggest regulation change we get is the disclosure of short positioning versus twice a freaking month, which is criminal. It is absolutely criminal what these folks are able to do to slam us. They get all of our information on the time and sales, and they can look and see where our limit orders are and see where our stops are and say, hey, I've got 3,200 shares at 1069. Let's trigger those things. Or on the sell side, I'm sorry, come over here. I've got 5,000 shares at 1086. Hey, we only need to drive that thing down 3 cents and we're going to pop them out of the market. HFT, 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 high frequency trade. There's our 3 cents. Boom. I just kicked 8,000 shares out of the market. I took an opposing hedge position and basically sold it short on those 3 cents. Now I'm going to buy it back. I'm going to walk away from my computer because I'm a hedge fund idiot. I'm a jerk. I'm an asshole. And now I'm going to go back to what it does because I just made my bank for that 30-second period. This is what they do. That's what the HFTs do to drive those prices down. They high frequency trade, they churn it, and then when they're short something, we don't find out the information except twice a month. Everything else is noise. Everything else is noise. I doubt I'm going to call Schwab to find out the trade rate, interest rate on AMC. I'm not interested in it. They're not going to do a count of shares. If you're believing what somebody else is saying on any other tubers, I'm not going to name names. I believe in supporting every streamer, every YouTuber that's out there. But let me be clear on this. They are not going to recall AMC shares and count them. They are not going to recall AMC shares and count them. It is a fantasy. It is not going to happen. It does not exist for this stock. It won't happen. So quit believing it. If somebody is still talking about that, and I have no idea if they are, multiple people were talking about it. They were doing for clickbait. I'm not a clickbait channel. What I'm trying to build here, I am not about clickbait. What I'm about is teaching, education, and if you see something that I'm doing and you like it, maybe you'll click me a follow or subscribe. Because I'm doing this stuff anyway. Whether I'm streaming or not, I'm going to be at this stupid computer, and I'm going to be having my multiple screens up, and I'm looking at the S&P and the VIX over here. I'm looking at my brokerage account. Actually, usually it's down here. And I'm looking at my my trading view screen over here. And I'm looking at my 30-second or my 3-minute on the conference. Still no confirmation, but, oh, that's Boeing. Sorry. Still no buy signal. Oh, there it is. We got one. So the 3-minute did kick. I don't know when that kicked in because we were away from it. So the 3-minute did kick in a buy signal. It didn't meet my rule, however, because my blue line on the MACD, moving average convergence divergence on the 50 and 200 period average did not exceed the red. So I would not have bought there either. But again, I screwed up and didn't buy down here either, right? But again, I still had that alert there. Why did I leave it there? Because I'm trying to prove myself right because of my own stupid ego. Okay. Because I look every time I make a play or I don't make a play, I'll set alerts. Like right now, I've got U.S. oil at 70. I've got Sundial at $1.50. I've got Rocket at 23.73. Oh, I'm sorry. This one I can delete. This was my break even because I had to hold Rocket through the X and record date in order to get that $1.11 dividend. So my break even was 23.70. It dropped to 23.70. Below that, I'm losing money on getting the dividend. So what I ended up selling at was 25 something or other. So I can wipe this one out because I already got my dividend in both my accounts. I'm still holding Rocket. So I'm looking there. And then there's my one at 1077, which I missed it by a penny. It would have alerted at 1078, but it didn't meet my rule. I would not have bought. So looking at Rocket now, I still hold 500 shares of Rocket and I want to say, was it 2560? 25, what did I sell that thing at yesterday? I didn't hit the high. I know that. And I'm not gonna pull up my thing. I think it was 2560 or yeah, somewhere around there. I forget what it was. I think I said it on stream, and I don't. If one of you remembers, better memory than me. I'm old. Not a boomer. But that's what I'm looking at there. So Rocket, I'm still holding 500 shares. So as long as Rocket does not go below 23.79, I'm still profitable on those shares no matter what because I got the dividend. So I'm holding on to those. Iterum was up today, but they're now exactly flat on the day. Interestingly enough, that they just beat their earnings estimate too. I should have sold it in the pre-market. And then my other one is down 5 cents on my BioPharm 9 meters. Let's go back up to AMC 1092 again. We're lunchtime, folks, and I'm gonna have to eat here in a little bit. I never even ate my ape food for the morning. I still need that. I'm not gonna eat it on stream because it's probably TOS and somebody's gonna complain. All right. So another question: What do you think about rising bonds? I hope that answers your question, and it affects the stock market. I don't, I do care about the T rates. I'm more concerned about inflation and the confirmation by the government that inflation is already here. Inflation is already here. The news is already out. The smart people that are out there, know that gas prices means that everything is going to go up. Your bread, your milk, your gasoline is every time gas goes up, inflation comes into play. It's just a fact. It's complete logic. It's a complete fact, and that's just going to be it's just going to be what it is. It's not going to happen that inflation isn't going to come through. So I'll do a little DD over the weekend. If you come back on Monday, I'll look at some bond stuff. I'll do a little DD on it, and we'll talk about it on stream on Monday. I'll dig back into the treasuries as well. I think they're disconnected, though, because of crypto. In 2015, during the last really major crash before the one that we had in March of last year, that's the last time bonds and treasuries were connected to the stock market. I personally believe there's a disconnect right now, and that's because of cryptocurrency. But that's only my strictly amateur, completely childish ape decision, and I'm probably wrong. I am wrong. I'll just tell you right now. 100% wrong. Follow the bond market. You're going to do great. Just buy that 2% yield, man. Buy that 3% yield and ride it into the sunset for 20 years. And take that yield and bring it to the bank. No, thank you. I'd rather scalp and make 1% in 30 seconds. So, my risk profile is such that the way I've got my trading rules set up, and maybe at one point I'll do a specific video on my trading rules. If you think that would help, let me know. You're going to hear some repeat stuff because I've had these things in my head. What I decided to do once I went full-time doing this, I walked away from a $125,000 a year job, of which I was getting stock options and 401k contributions and everything. And I quit my job in the middle of a pandemic on October 25th. What I did, I used to work for Merrill Lynch and Prudential way back in the day. We're talking 2000s, late 90s, 2000s. I got washed out of the market like 70,000 other people after 9/11. I lasted until 2003, and then I got bounced. I literally got fired, okay? Been trading on my own ever since. Obviously, I have skills. I have no reason to hire somebody to manage my money. What I did during the pandemic, when I couldn't go out, and I'm single, by the way, when I couldn't go out and go meet people, hang out with my friends, ride my motorcycle, take trips, go back and see family in the Midwest, go back down to California, travel, down to Mexico, Cancun, wherever, Los Cabos, almost went on a cruise. I decided to do something. I took my downtime and started getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning and doing research an hour before the market opened and proving to myself that I could day trade. And I basically took my skills, read some more books, reread my stuff on options, looked at spreads and stuff like that, went back in and started day trading, got confirmed as a pattern day trader on my brokerage platform, and I was day trading my 401k. Okay, and you look at yourself and say, you were what? You were day trading your 401k? Are you freaking nuts? They don't even allow you to do that. Yeah, they kind of do. If you work for a company, and I did not work for Boeing. I'm not going to tell you right now who I worked for. I love the company I worked for. They were very disappointed that I left, but they're happy for me. A lot of them were very happy, and they reach out, and some of them know exactly what I'm doing. But let's take a look at daily last year. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what happened and what I did. When this happened, okay, we had some things happen between March and call it August, okay? August is when I finally got done trading, and I made my decision in August after I was done day trading Boeing that I was going to put myself into a position if certain things didn't happen at the company I was with, and it looked like they weren't gonna happen. And I've got a whole story on what got me into this too. It goes back 5 years. I'll do that in another viewer. But I rode Boeing basically late March. And what is that? Forgive me. 98%. I basically doubled my Boeing. And I can tell you that it was, and this is, please don't do this. This was a lot of money for me. And I think it was divided into, where's the pivot? right about anywhere from 1,200 to 1,400 shares of Boeing at a time. And it wasn't my entire portfolio. And I did it in my retirement accounts, and I did it in my taxable account. What I did at the exact same time was in my 401k. The company I was working for allows me to invest in the stock of where I worked. And that stock, I sold it at a high, it crashed, I bought it back, sold it again, it crashed, bought it back, sold it again, it crashed, bought it again. When I left in October, I carried it over. I let the stock transfer over. My company had something that said, hey, if you leave the company, your 401k, you can roll it over to a traditional IRA because I can contribute to Roth. You can roll it over to a traditional IRA, and if you do that, you can take the stock with you. I took it with me. And then I ended up selling it, and I haven't bought back into it, and it doesn't show up on my watch list either. So if you're looking for who I used to work for, it's not on there. But that allowed me to basically make over the last year an additional, call it $55,000 in my 401k that I was able to roll over. So it turned out to be a very, very good thing for me. And so once I had that confirmation that, hey, what I'm doing, all my old skills came back. It was kind of like riding a bike. Look at this, this ride over here. These started over here, and I wasn't streaming at the time, and I just kept extending them and extending them and extending them. And I'm riding this thing like a what, and I'm just riding it the whole time. So again, I don't care where the market is at. All I need is 1,000 shares of Boeing to move 19 cents in any one day, okay? Any one day, and I'm there. And I can take a 30-second chart, and I can find 19 cents on any of my indicators at any point in time. There's 39, or there's $1.03. I can do that in my sleep if I wanted to. And sometimes I do. Sometimes I wake up at 1 o'clock in the morning or 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning when the pre-market is open. I'll look at some charts on my iPad. And what I've got on my iPad over here is I have my YouTube stream playing, so I can look at the comments on YouTube at the exact same time. So I'm working on 4 monitors, both mainly for trading, but also for questions that come up in the chat. Law of Chaos. Do me a favor. I already forgot, so I'll write it down. Which video do you want me to see? Which video do you want to see? So let me know in that chat which guys, because I think I offered 3 or 4 or 5 of them, but let me know which one. But let's get back to Boeing. So, or AMC. So last time we were at AMC, we were looking at was what, 1092? 1092? We're in the lunchtime. This is my breakfast time. This is why. Very low volume. Look at the volume compared to, and this is why, not really why I don't show you. You guys are asking questions, so I'm sticking around. It's a Friday. I'll rest tomorrow. No rest for the wicked, right? You have very low volume. You have consolidation. You have the S&P moving up. Let's take a look at it here. We have the Dow Jones Industrial Average. Let's look at that on a chart. 140.3. I'll have these fixed. I broke up this watch list into 4 different sections last night, and it frickin' didn't come through this morning. So I don't know if I didn't save the layout or what. And I'm ticked because I broke all this stuff out, which I should have done earlier, but my watch list wasn't as big. We have the Dow Jones Industrial Average up 144, which is about 0.44%. We have the nice move back on the NASDAQ. So the triple Qs, Loris, if you're still there, and I hope I'm saying your name right. If you're still there, the triple Qs definitely bounced back up over that level we were talking about earlier. I don't even remember what it was. But if we go to the QQQ real quick, if I'm making a play, my brain has so many things moving in and out, it bounces out the levels. So I think we're 312, something like that. Would have been a good buy. Again, you could just buy the QQQ and say, oh, there's my buy signal. Oh, sorry, 3-minute. Back off. Don't trade on my 30-second buy signals. Don't do it. Don't trade on my 3-minute buy signals. Still don't have one, but if you scalp this, 226. 226 times 500 shares. Boom, $1,130, 313 times 500 shares. That would have been $156 at work, probably about the range I would be comfortable scalping with. And sometimes, maybe when we get more viewers, I'll do a live screen because I'll need to go back to doing some trading when I'm not making my money before I go on stream. So looking at the triple Qs. So again, those are up, and then let's look at the where do I want to go? S&P, the guy over here that's showing up all the time. 1 second. 11 points. We're climbing back. We are climbing off of this low at of 39.16. We bounced back 1%. So we bounced back over there. So I don't know why I did that when I could have just looked over here at the 39.15. So looking at S&P low of the day. What are we, 315.80? 39.15.20? 39.15.20. Here we go, right here. 0.33%. So up 12 points. Again at 0.33. So, if I take a look, would I be buying 38 shares of this to try and run the SPY and buy the SPY or trade the SPY? I don't trade the SPY. I trade companies I have confidence in versus sentiment, hoping I'm right or wrong. Okay, with the exception of shorts. With the exception of shorts, this is what I choose. I choose the SQQQ to short. Okay, it's a leveraged fund. Don't do it. You'll lose all your money, because if you're wrong and the market goes up and it keeps going up, you're stuck in a short position and you will lose everything. Or if you do, on a triple Qs or on the SQQQ shorts, I would be comfortable using limits. Stop limits, probably a trade. If you're running the upside, probably a trailing stop so it ladders your gains and locks those in on a pullback based on your own trading rules. That works out pretty well. Thanks for the answer about bonds. I don't want to hold you back, but I have another question. Hey, I'm trying to move my mouse over onto my iPad. Let's see here. I don't want to hold you back, but I have another question. You mentioned about your crypto money allocation, but what about stocks and your percentages? Quick answer on that. When I'm actively day trading, I like to go to cash 100% by market close. Especially on a Friday, I like to go to cash. I may do some things and close out some trades over the weekend. I think there is enormous risk this weekend and things happening. There was a story about Israel attacking a tanker with oil heading to Syria. There apparently have been 3 this year, but it was the first I heard of it. But there were 6 last year, and they've been doing it since 2019. So I don't think anybody really cares about that yet. But I think there's volatility in the Mideast. You never know what could happen over the weekend. I haven't decided what I'm going to do. I'll make that decision in between my break here. It's 9 o'clock. I'll be broadcasting at 11:30. I'm not quite gone yet. I'm still here. You guys are here, so I might stay. We'll see. I am going to have to go get something to eat here shortly because I haven't eaten anything. All I've had was my coffee. I haven't even eaten my 8 banana yet. Let's see here. So my percentage of allocation, well, I can tell you right now what I am in. I am invested in the following. I'll tell you, I won't tell you the percentages because these are all plays that you don't want to do what I do. You'll lose your money, okay? I own U.S. oil. I own the stock in excess of 1,000 shares. Not going to give you the number, but I own in excess of 1,000 shares of U.S. oil, okay? I also own 2 call options on U.S. oil out to January of 2022, okay? Next one. I own precious metals. I own silver. I also own platinum. Okay. I own Rocket. I think I have 500 shares of Rocket. I have 500 shares of Rocket left in my retirement account. I own 0 shares of NVDA. I have 9 calls at 540 strike price, expiration March 19th. Show the love. Buy NVIDIA, get me back in the green, baby. We'll see where we end up on that. This has actually turned out nicely. We were up to 520 yesterday is where it closed, and I got my external turned off here. Where are we at? What chart am I at here? 3 minutes. where we at yesterday? 519, 520, whatever closed at yesterday. It was down to 509 or 503 on the low today. Bounced back up another $10, so we're only down 1.27. I'm hoping the stimulus money bails me out of my NVIDIA call, so I'm holding those over the weekend. I know it's a risk, but I'm down. I don't know. What am I down on those? I don't want to look right now because I don't want to expose my position. But at one point, I was down like $19,000 on that, and I battled back to being down 8 or 9 on those. And I own one call I'm going to lose my shirt on NVIDIA on the 570 call that was at on 319. Here's the lesson in that, and this is why you don't do what I do. On NVIDIA, I screwed up and I made a mistake. Look, a lot of streamers out there are not going to tell you when they screw up. They're not going to tell you when you lose money. They're not going to take the lesson and they're not going to learn the lesson. They're going to make it out to be like they are the best trader since sliced bread. I'm not that freaking guy. You want to go over to their streams and watch their stuff and pretend that they're showing you their losses when they're not, or they're not going to expose it. Okay? Where's the 540 level? It was a Friday. When was a Friday? 2 or 3 weeks ago. Hold on. Back bouncing in February. '26th. Okay. Friday the 26th. My 570 call option was negative, and there were times when that one was positive too. But the 26th of February, I was up on my options. And I let it ride over the weekend. And by the time I got back over the weekend, or maybe it was over. No, it was this Friday. Was that last week? Hold on, back up. The 5th? Yeah, it was the 5th. No, it wasn't the 5th. It was a week before. Okay, yeah, this Friday before here, I was positive on my options. I was up a few grand. And I kept the darn things. I kept the damn things, and I kept them. And I lost money all the way down, and I held them because my expiration was March 19th. My hope was, okay, they're down. Do I bail out and go into something else and scalp to get the money back? Or do I believe I have enough time, enough of the theta and the Greeks, and enough on the on losing the money as it expires towards zero to possibly get back up to 540? That's my hope. Okay. Do I believe it's going to happen? I still believe I'm in a losing position on my calls on NVIDIA. Now, I've already made enough money back to cover that loss no matter what. Between now and when the premium expires, worthless next Friday. What I've gained back, however, is here to here. It's back up another 10% or so. Okay. So I'm back up. I've made what would have been if I exited. It bottomed out and it's come back nicely. When it hit the 520, I was thinking, nah, I'm going to hold out and see what happens. So on these calls, I have losses booked. I don't have losses booked because it's not a loss yet. It's not a loss until I go over here. I pull this up and I pull up NVIDIA and I go into my option stream where I right click on my position and I say close the damn thing. So until that happens, and I'll show you where those are at, NVDA, and you'll see the P show up. And let me roll over here. Hey, why isn't it showing? Why doesn't it show my options? Maybe they don't show up over here. But I've got calls over there where if you look at something like AMC, and this is weird. Where is this broken? Oh, I have the wrong account. Haha. There it is. Okay, so in AMC, there we go. There's my calls on AMC at $4 and $8. So I've got call options there, and I've got 10 shares that I bought yesterday at 1026. So we're at 1094. I'm profitable. And again, what we were looking at yesterday on AMC is I was looking at the, and you can see down here, I've got the 2 down here, but it's going to show my 15 calls expiring in April. It's not going to show, but the 2 down here, it means I've got the other 30 calls down there that expire on the 19th at $4. So I've got 15 calls at 8. I've got 30 calls at 4. And I've got 10 shares as a trading example yesterday. Big time ape, right? One of my 20. Oh, my light just went out. 0.26 times, what are we at? 0.935, 0.94 minus 0.26 equals times 10. I'm up $6.80. Yeah, buddy. So, with that, I think that my allocation, to go back over here, we'll go back and finish that off. So that's my story on AMC. That's my story on NVIDIA. I have in excess of 1,000 shares on Iterum Therapeutics. I have options and I have shares in excess of 1,000 on NMTR, 9 meters. Those are the 2 pharmas. I own 0 GameStop. I have an excess of 5,000 shares of Ford. Okay. Ethereum, again, I'm never going to tell you guys what I have in that. I have 15%, or I have 85% in Ethereum. I have 15% in Bitcoin and AMC, which we talked about. That is 100% of all my positions. Okay, so your loss would have paid off my house, and actually your rules and actually a brief history of your start. Okay. Oh, okay. So my rules and my story. So you guys want to hear my story? I'm not going to tell you right now. I'll do a video on it. So you want my rules and you want my story. Everybody's got a story, all right? So if you think people are getting emotional, that's why I can't do it here. Hold on. Freaking retards. All right, I'm back. I did plug in my light. I'm not going to tell you my story on the stream, and that's why. Because if I tell you my story on my stream, it's a 5-year story. It's a 5-year story that goes back to a week after I bought this house, is all I'm going to say for now. I'll do a video on it. No, dude, don't apologize. I'm going to do a video on it. Don't apologize at all. Not needed. We're good, man. Honest to God, we're good. 100% we're good. I need to do it. But as you can tell, it's happy. It's a happy story that put me in the position to do what I'm doing now, which is help people, right? I've been helping people my entire life. Now I'm doing it to hopefully help more than just a few. So that's it. All right. Let me go back over here. Allocation for each. So I went into my plays and what I own. Yes, I'm still there. Triple Q's bouncing. Okay, so bouncing up or bouncing down? Hold on. Let me get back over here, back into the 3 minute. Let me go back into the 30-second. Nice little run there. You guys are probably going to unsubscribe or unfollow because of that, huh? All right. Okay. So back to it. So let's get back into AMC. No more questions about my story. You'll get that in another video when I have a chance to cut things out. Maybe re-record them. But you'll get truth because that's all I'm ever going to share is truth and integrity. That goes back. My integrity goes back to this right here. And that's what I'm proud of right there, okay? That's what I'm proud of. I learned my integrity really when I was in the Marine Corps. And that's part of my story too. That goes way, way back. So you'll get the story. I promise I'll get that. I don't know if I'll do it this weekend. I'm not going to promise that. Within the next 2 weeks, I've already tried to record it once. Within the next 2 weeks, I'll try and get my story out there to you guys, and that'll be posted. What I'll probably do is I will post it on YouTube, but I'll also live stream it. See, hack, streaming hack. I'll post it on YouTube, but I will play it as a source video, live streaming it on Twitch. Got it? And then it'll stay, and then I'll clip it, and I'll leave the story as a clip, and it'll probably be 10 or 11 minutes long. I don't know if there's a limit on clips. If there is, I might split them up and say part 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 if I have to. I don't know enough about this, guys. I only been streaming for this is my second full week doing it. So there you go. All right, so let's take a look here. We're still 9:25. I'll stay, but I gotta eat something. Talk amongst yourselves. I gotta kill this banana and get something in my belly here. If this bothers you, I apologize. No, I don't. I'm hungry. Ape needs to eat. At least I'm eating the food of choice. So this is it. This is all you need to have to make money and ensure your financial future. So crypto. Since we're in a slow time, do you guys want to see my miner, my Ethereum address for mining? I can show you one of them. You guys want to learn a little bit about Bitcoin, and you can record an entire stream session. I've seen some 4 to 6 hour clips. Nice. Thank you, Law of Chaos. Appreciate it. You guys want to see my miner site? One of them that shows some of the money I'm making in crypto mining. I can pull that up if you like. What is this still doing up? Close this. Boop. Adios. And where are we at here? When did the music end? Oh, it's still playing. There we go. I have no idea. Is it? Is this still doing up? Close this. Okay, there we go. All right. I had to confirm that on YouTube. Let me pull up my mining thing while we're watching AMC here. Again, this is the reason why we can, normally during this time, I'm eating breakfast, doing things with the dog, taking her for a walk, doing things like that. I get up, I do about, I try and do some research before I get up or late into the night. I was up till about 10:30 last night doing research to help out with what I wanted to talk about today, but mainly on Rocket and Boeing, because I got to get back into my Boeing stuff. I like where they're going. And so I'm going to probably scalp next week a little bit on Boeing. So you guys will hopefully see that on there. 929 or 1094. Okay. All right, let's see here. Scroll this down. You guys can watch my miners. Let's see here. Triple Q bouncing. Okay, so really quick. Look at that. Nice. Let's go 11. Hold on a second. 3 minute. Okay, looking good. Buy signal on the 3 minute for those of you playing along at home. No real news. Nice jump. Nice jump. There we go. Hey, guess what? Everybody that did take a break is back from their lunch. It's 12:30. And volume's picking up here. The fact that the volume is the green is above the red, also very good. That's a good sign. We're coming up and we're about to break through the VWAP in the 200. We're well above the 50 average. We've stayed above it, bouncing here and there off of it, bouncing below the Bollinger Band a couple times, but nice little push here going on. So we'll hold off on the mining stuff as we watch this and I eat a little protein or potassium. There we go. What's GameStop doing? So GameStop pulled back to 279. We were looking at them at what, 1086 level was it for them? For GameStop, we said before. Looks like it broke through that at 279. But I'm not going to click off of this one. because this is where I'm more invested in, and this one concerns me greater. But here's what I will do. Nice jump there. Let's watch the triples. Or not the triples, I'm sorry. Time and sales. So again, gray is going to be your dark pools. You got your green and your red. So you can see the battle. 11 bid and ask is 11.4 by 11.5. Nice. I'm up I'm up 2.07%. Some of you smart retard apes out there are going to be able to take the percentages, and I'm going to tell you what I'm up, and it'll tell you what one of my accounts has as a balance in it. I doubt I'll ever share everything. I may. Here's the thing, though. Here's what I can do. My real estate, the house I live in, is increasing every month by about $7,000. Okay. Not only that, but I'm going to walk away on a 5-year buy. I bought this place in August of 2015, strictly as an investment. 5-bedroom house. I didn't need it. Both my kids were out of the house. And I'm looking to clear about $300,000 on it. So what I'm going to do with that money is about $100,000 of that is going to go into my play fund, okay, trading fund, and I'm going to go find a house in Wyoming for $200,000 or less, and I'm going to pay cash for that motherfucker. Excuse the French, but this is an adult stream. I can do that. Can I do that on YouTube? I don't know. TOS. Because I'm building income streams. That's what I want to really teach. So this is not the main thing that I want people to learn. The main thing I want people to learn is how to build possibly generational wealth. And I'll show you that. Let me get back into this one, and I'll show you where that is. So if you were here earlier in the week, we talked about the 4 asset classes. I have 6 income streams that I've created, but there's 4 asset classes that I have. And these are going to be other subsequent videos you'll see on YouTube and Twitch. And clipped, apparently, the whole freaking thing. Real estate is one. I own one property, the house I live in. I bought a 2,339 square foot 4-bedroom house with a den downstairs and a nook. This is I'm streaming from my nook. I'll give you here, watch this. I'll show you what my studio looks like. I think I can do it this way. And this way. Okay. All right, so I'll show you what my studio looks like as we break down, back down below 11.5, off the top there at what, 11.08? See, this is why I like my pivots. I don't have to draw lines and say, hey, where's my wick at? What's it at? 11.08. Here we go. A little seller pressure coming in. The seller pressure is not increased by the buying pressure. So 4-bedroom house with a den downstairs without a closet. So that just counts as a den, doesn't count as a bedroom. So you can call it one though. So 5-bedroom house. And then that's the front of my studio. And this is just in a nook. So this is just a nook. And here's from the other side. So I got my lights, all that other stuff and everything else. And bonus, because I do this, all this gets to basically be a tax deduction for me. That's one of the ways to do it. If you plan a day trade, again, this is not tax or financial advice. Don't do what I do, or you're going to lose your shirt. You're going to lose all your money. All right, 1099. So a little bit of pressure coming in here. They don't exceed the buy side, but again, you got these assholes over there on the East Coast that are coming back in trying to drive the price down. So they're doing that there. Okay, that's done. Hold on, I gotta throw that out. All right, so nice candle there, back on the upside. I don't think, let's see if it was enough. It might have been enough to throw a sell indicator. Nope, not yet. All right, so the 3-minute chart did not throw a sell indicator yet on AMC. So it threw the buy, 1093. It threw the buy after the consolidation. A thinning of the Bollinger Band, that's actually good. Still got that 1077 alert there, huh? I gotta leave it there. I can't click on it. There's no way I can't even click on it to get rid of it. I gotta leave it there now. So I'm looking for confirmation of my strategies. Okay, so here we are again. So we're 1103. So again, if you've got to look up here, folks. You've got to look up here. You have to figure out what timeline my chart is on. I think I've been really good at telling you guys, but I'll bounce between obviously two of my main ones, the 3-minute and the 30-second, and then before I'm making a trade, I'll go down here, I'll maximize, and I'll look at my 5-minute, and I'll look at my day chart. Why is this thing killing me, man? Why does that keep going back to a day? Something's wrong with I think I got to resave a layout or something. It didn't save anything. So back up to the 1104. That's looking pretty good. All right, so let's see here. Great pleasure to talk to you soon. See you in another live stream. I got to go by. All right. Thanks a lot for hanging out over there on YouTube. Appreciate it, and appreciate the comments too. It helps the algos. Have a great afternoon. All right, Law of Chaos says, I had a pal who bought a duplex where he lived in one side of it and rented out the other side. The rent he got paid for the second apartment of the duplex was the same as the mortgage payment he had, so he was practically living there for free. All right, so yes, that is a possibility. However, I have not shared a wall since 1994 with somebody else. I've been in houses since 1994. I bought my first house in 1994 back in Illinois, and I had a 7% mortgage on it. And I bought it for $133, and separate story anyway, but $133, so we're at $1107 up here, and sold it in 2003 for $189. So walked away and did a for sale by owner. I had a good friend that was an attorney, and he did the paperwork for me for like $300 because we were buddies, and did my sale on my own. Then I moved to California, 2003, 2011, Southern California, and then the company I worked for moved me from California to run things up here. So I've been up in Washington State since New Year's Day, literally 2012. So that's what brought me up here. But again, I basically, I probably shouldn't say I retired. I quit my job on October 25th of 2020, and they were not happy that I did that. But oh well, to basically do this full time, and to basically I have enough assets that I've built up over 5 years to allow me to do this, and then I practiced basically for a year before I started streaming, before I was comfortable with showing what I was doing. So there's that. So my plan is when I buy a house for cash, I will be buying a house. I want to rent first though. And you're like, are you freaking crazy? Are you freaking crazy? Are you stupid? Yes, I'm an ape and I'm retired. Here's my plan. I want to rent. I want to wait for the housing market to crash. Then I want to buy something for cash. And then I want to buy a fixer-upper or a foreclosure, fix it up, then possibly keep that as a rental after the market crashes. I'm not going to buy any type of rental properties or any real estate until there's confirmation of whether the market crashes or not. And as long as forbearances are out there, the market isn't going to crash. All right, so we're at 1109. We're at 1109 there. That's looking pretty good. So yay. And let's take a look at something here. A minute. By the way, in the chat box, you'll see questions. The ones over here that was actually over from YouTube, and it shows up in my chat box here. So good stuff there. All right, let's see here. So 1106. So again, we're hanging out here. Let's look at GameStop. GameStop's holding on. Oh, just a comes back up here. 279. It looks like we may have a small battle brewing. Let me see here. Looks like the battle lines are drawn for AMC at $11, and the battle for GameStonk yeah, you can pick any $5 increment in here. Quite a few at 250. Okay. 2,800 contracts at 250. You've got 9,200 contracts at 300. So this is the options screen on the calls side. Okay, so these are all ones that expire today. So if you have any options, you need to either sell them or have enough cash, or your broker is going to sell them this afternoon, possibly even before the market closes. They can do that, by the way. If you don't have enough money in your account to settle the position, you may have signed a broker agreement that allows your broker to sell those call options, or close. Let's just call it close. Close your option position before the market closes if you don't have enough money to cover it. They will sell you out in some cases. Either that, or you're going to get a nasty phone call. Okay. Let's see here. What else here? Rules, story. Okay. I did have something that was kind of cool. And here's what I did. This was just jacking around yesterday. But what I did was I got Microsoft Whiteboard. Okay. So this was just me drawing on it. Now, I have a drawing pad. So when I start teaching and doing videos, I plan to pull up the whiteboard. I can go like this. I can basically wipe stuff out, or go like this. I can clear it. I can eliminate it all. Boom, 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 boom. I can play with it and eliminate things, and I can do things, and I can draw stuff on it. So that's just me screwing around last night. But I've got Microsoft Whiteboard downloaded, so I can do a whiteboard. I can simply go like this. I can go clear the canvas, and then here we go. But I have, I do have a drawing board, because I am not going to be able to do this using a mouse. Okay, nobody's going to be able to read it. So I have that available, and so some of the teaching stuff, I have the drawing pad I have to use as my mouse pad. We'll get that up, and so that might be in some of the teaching videos down the road, or even a live session in between. Okay, so the battle line's there. Again, 300 on GME. We'll see if that's gonna push or not. And we'll go back over to AMC, and we know that the AMCs are on the. Go back to the 1 minute. We know that the AMC options are at the 50 cent and dollar levels. So they're at the 50 cent and the 0 zeros. Okay. So $10, 27,000, 22,000 at 11, 21,000 at 12. So the 1150's got 4,300. Battle looks like is going to be at $11. So that's kind of where the battle is going to be. Okay, all right. So we're at 9:44 my time here, and let's go back over into our AMC. Some of the other players, heat map, haven't watched that. So since then, hold on a second. SBS is down 9. Watch all these. This is going to happen really, really fast if you're staring at the screen. We're going to go to the heat map. You're going to see some of these reds turn green, and some of the brighter reds turn into a dull red. Watch this. Boom. See, they went dull. Again, 15-minute delay, but we haven't clicked on this in over an hour and a half. And so we still have the text down, but they're down a lot less. The ones that are positive are barely positive. Energy is up. We have Exxon Mobil up 1%. We have Chevron up 0.3%. The banks, JP Morgan, Bank of America, Citicorp, are all up over 1%. Netflix down 1.88%. Google down 2.1%. Tesla down 97 point, almost 1%, but they're fighting back. And Apple down as well. So some of those are in there. NVDA down. NVIDIA's down to 513. Oh, but we're climbing back 513. That's good. We were down to 503 before, so we're up. I'm up $10 from where it was before. Yay! Qualcomm all down. Nothing in the green there. Some of your regional banks. Fifth Third, headquartered out of Minnesota, I believe. U.S. Bank, they're showing gains today. TFC, PNC, and some of the other ones I never even heard of because I don't invest in them. Capital markets, Charles Schwab up 1.36%. Great story on them lately, by the way. And you got some other ones there too. Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs came out today and had a story, and they're going to start calling people back into their offices. Of course, the traders never left. Neither did hedgies. They never left. Up here, restaurants, you got Starbucks barely up, or down just a tad for the day. You got McDonald's, which is up on the day. Back up to give me AMC. Give me AMC. All right, so again, 276, that's probably not great news for GameStop. The 300s, we haven't hit it yet. We have not gone above 300. This may turn into a battle for 250 or 200 if it can't climb above these 278 and hold. So it held it a little bit here, but now we're back below it again. So these are back in play. All right. AMC, $11. Battle line is clearly drawn on this one. Clearly drawn. All right. All right, any last questions? Because I'm going to end the stream. I need to get me some breakfast or lunch, as it were, by now. So I need to get me something to drink. I'm going to be back in an hour and a half. So I will be back at 11:30 Pacific, 2:30 Eastern Time. And but I will entertain a quick question if anybody's has a quick question or wants me to look at something really, really quick here before we end the stream. Hearing none. All right, very cool. Hey, listen, thank you, all of you. Thanks for hanging out with me this morning, and it was a very, very fun stream. I certainly had a good time with it. All right, get your energy. I'll be back in 90 minutes too. All right, very cool night. Thank you. Appreciate you coming in. So we'll be back in an hour and a half, a little bit right around that time. We'll be back at 11:30 Pacific, 2:30 Eastern Time. So until then, stay strong. Keep your gains going. The battle's for 11. The battle, unfortunately, for GameStop is going to be a battle between 250, possibly even 200. I doubt it, but I don't. It would be a struggle to get up to 3, but it is possible. It could happen. I hope I'm wrong, and I hope it does happen because there's still people stuck in that thing. I never participate in it, but there we go. So thanks for coming out. We'll see you in an hour and a half, right about 11:30 or so. And y'all have a great morning, and thanks for tuning in. As always, have a great morning. Bye now.